Yo, Froggystyles and Mediocre Trader back here.
What's up, everybody?
About to close up the market and check the news and see what we got going on here. Pull up the chart real quick. So we got that going. Looks like we're taking a hit late day. We basically just doing a double bottom. Pretty much called this right out to the T. I was kind of expecting to go to 1150. It went down and hit 1150 on the dot, bounced straight off of it. Now we're going back for that double touch. And then hopefully we get the reversal. I want to see the counter punch that comes in after that. So expect this to be called the bear trap. And then I'd like to see a bull trap Wednesday, Thursday, to where we can at least shoot back up. I'm going to do a max pain evaluation here, and I'm going to post it over on Twitter as well. Give me a second here to get on the right page. I'm going to show everybody how to use this max pain site that I use. I think it's very important to know how to figure out your max pain. So I'll probably go through it a little bit slower here so I can show you how to do it. So first, we're going to pull up AMC on max pain. Let me get the right chart pulled up. I'm going to provide a link on YouTube chat so you guys can get it. So there's the link to Max Pain, the site that I use. It's already pinned for AMC. I'll show you how to use that here in a second. Usually I scroll right past the first chart where it says open interest. I come down to the next one, which is the volume chart, and I look at this one. And we don't worry about all these numbers over here on this side because none of that's even important. Because, like, who cares about the 19, 20, 21 strike price? Nobody really cares about those. What we're paying attention to is where we're at right now and where we're going to go in the next couple hours. That's all I pretty much care about. So right now they got it figured out down here. It's calculated at 14, but they're using the entire range here. Obviously, 14 is the highest we need to get to 14 to make some money on Monday, Tuesday with the gamma. And most likely what's going to happen is the market maker, the devious person that he is, will look at all these options. And if you can draw a line somewhere that hurts everybody the most, it'd be right here at 13. Now, I'm talking about like right on the money is perfect. So it blows out all these calls, all these puts, and it gives us no money. So I'm going to put down 13 even plus or minus just a quarter, just to because it's got to have some sort of range. And then I'm going to check and see what the price is currently trading at, which is 11.66. So in my mind, tomorrow and Thursday, we're going to be shooting back up to 13. So this is going to be doing what I'm thinking is going to be a double bottom, and then we're going to get that real nice bounce up. It could go up to 14, but by Friday, I mean, most likely they're going to be shooting for 13, and that can change based upon where people put options. Now, since not many options are being played, they don't have as much, they're not making as much money off of premium. So I think what's happening is we're hurting them because we're not buying the options. Option purchasing this month so far has been low, and you can see it based upon the option amounts that are at each strike. There are low numbers. So what I'm thinking is happening is they're being forced to start taking money from other positions to manipulate more stocks. Could be wrong. It could be a combination of rate hikes plus all the other stuff combined, creating basically that squeeze effect. So let me see here. We got AMC is currently trading at 11.62. I'd expect it to come down and get pretty close to the 11.50 number again. And then it will probably bounce from there and start working its way back up. I expect going into close, it's either going to hit 1150 or drop just below it to trick everybody into thinking that that's like we're headed that direction. And then tomorrow in the morning, it will just pop back up and create a complete bear trap. They do it every single week, so I would not be surprised if that's the way it rolls. Give me 1 second here. I'll do GME next. All right, so let me pull up GME on the chart. Currently, it's trading at 92.96. Let me check and make sure this is up on the screen. So we've got GME up here right now. So we're going to scroll past the first chart. And all I did was I went up into the address bar and I changed the last 3 letters from AMC to GME. Or you could punch it in right here in this little box and you can update it. So I went to the second window. Down on the third one, it says max pain's 115. But again, that takes into account all these options over here. And nobody cares about these options over here, the 128s and above. Nobody cares about those, but those get factored in, and it causes a problem. What I'm looking at here is 95 to 100, so that's 97.50 plus or minus 250. That means theoretically I'm expecting a $5 increase on the stock by Thursday. Because typically what the market maker wants to do is give these guys no money. So those sit there, they're in the money, so they're going to end up shifting the price up. They won't let it go below 90 because they'll bring in way too many puts. And then they'll probably run it up close to 100, but they won't get there. They'll stop short and they'll bring it back in between these 2 red ones, or this red one here and this green one here, and they'll park it right there for a perfect max pain line. And most of the times they follow it. Last week they didn't follow it. They end up leaning more towards the put side, which told me Monday, Tuesday was going to be red because they have a T+2. They have to cover all them puts. And they kind of spread them out over that period of time, and they just drove the market down. So let's see what the next one is. We're going to check out SPY just because we want to pay attention to the overall market. 398, that's not looking very good. And we got max pain again, skipping first chart, going to the second one. The calculated max pain, the one that everybody's using, that a site just generates for them, it's 408. But if you're going to do it the way I do it, you look at this one here and you can see 400 and 405, putting it 402.50. And that would be plus or minus 250. I like to keep an eye on Tesla because Tesla usually moves kind of in correlation with SPY too. Usually it does kind of impact SPY. I should be doing IWM, but I like to keep an eye on Tesla. It's like my second indicator of what the market's going to do. So currently Tesla's trading at 792, which is just horribly low. Come down here, check out the option chain. It's saying max pain's 860. There's no way it's getting back up there. But between 800 and 850 is what they're looking at for max pain. But you got to keep in mind you got these little tiny ones down here. So there's a good chance they're going to keep it close to 800. It could be 805 plus or minus 5. Or it could be 825 plus or minus 25. I think I'm going to stick with the bigger number because you never know if they're going to honor these 2 little guys down here or not. And that's pretty much how you figure max pain. Definitely something necessary to do. Learn how to figure your own max pain. There we are. We're sitting at 1161. Looks like we're bottoming on the 5. And that's pretty much it. Now we're just going to wait for the market to close and set that bear trap. Hopefully it doesn't do a double dip where we get a bear into a bear, but I've seen that. But most likely I'm betting we bounce up. Want to add anything to that, Mediocre Trader?
I'm trying to save these. Sorry. I'm trying to save these news clips. I can't even find the screen. So we're talking about AMC?
Yep, we're back on AMC.
All right. Yeah, I think we're going to bounce and then head up probably in the after hours. You're right, to lock in, make it a bear trap. I think that's what's going to happen, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is they're doing is they're tricking people into thinking that the market's selling off. And I'm sure if you look at the news and stuff, they're probably like, oh, market's crashing, blah, blah, blah. And they want you to load up on puts thinking it's going to go down and down again. And that's not a very common scenario. So a double bottom is, we got a clean double bottom right here. 1154. We're about 3 pennies away from bouncing off nice and clean off of that. It did like a triple touch, quadruple touch back here. Now we're about the single touch here. And then it will probably stay roughly about here, maybe going into the close. They have to convince us that it's going to be a sell-off. So there's no reason why there'd be a 5-minute like hook on the end of the day. But this would probably be the best time if to buy calls would be right about now. I didn't. I actually just got raw stock on it. All my option positions are closed. I'm in raw stock right now waiting for it to bounce back up. Because I have a feeling we're getting close to the end of the ride.
Yeah, I do too. I'm actually surprised that it went down like that. I did not think that. I was trash talking last night in private chat.
Yeah, you were betting me it wasn't going to go down to 1150 as like I knew it was going to dip down Monday, Tuesday.
I thought 1290 was good support, man. I didn't think they were going to break that.
Oh, I bought in at what did I buy in at yesterday? I don't know. I think it was like 1250. I can't remember exactly my numbers, but I bought like 100 shares yesterday, and then I turned around and bought some more today, pre-market. And I knew better. I knew that Monday, Tuesday is how the dip works, and I still bought in early, but I didn't want to risk them pulling a shenanigans where they quickly reversed it and ran it back up because it oversold. But after seeing the numbers, and I called it out 1150, I mean, it went right down within or right to the penny. It bounced it. You can see right now on the vortex indicator, it's turning the green side, which is basically the buyers. They're starting to turn up and overtake the sellers. And that means we could have a good close for the end of the day, which is not normal for a bear trap. So don't be the least bit surprised you see this thing come up here to like 1170 and then fall all the way back down to 1150. Just because like you in order to sell a bear trap, you got to trick the bears into believing that it's going to keep going down tomorrow. And then they load up on puts. And then during pre-market tomorrow morning is when you'll see the stock bounce up 50 cents. And it will basically just mangle up all those bears.
What do you think of HYMC?
Let me pull it up here. Ooh, volume is low. Down 3. Price is real low, bouncing under the support. It's probably going to do the same thing. I don't know why the price is that low, though. It's actually well under the support. Probably needs to pop back up to 125 by close. Just can't guarantee that either. I don't know. I think it's going to head higher because I think the market's going to rebound tomorrow and Thursday, and this will just move with it. So hopefully it can get back up to 150 by Thursday. Yeah, look at that. Perfect slide. Monday, Tuesday. And how you could tell it was going to actually dip on Monday, Tuesday is because usually max pain gets honored, but this time it actually lost the max pain. As you can see here, the max pain numbers are still sitting here for GME.
What price did AMC buy in on HYMC? Do we know? I forgot.
$1.09, I think. So here's your max pain range for Friday, and you can see GME finished below it. And since it failed at max pain getting up into that safe zone, when you fail, they got to cover all them puts that go into money, and they did. There's your first day and your second day. That's where your T+2 comes in. I think I got SPY on here too still. Yeah, SPY is still on here. SPY went right into that safe zone, popped right in there, but it didn't matter. The whole market was going to sell off anyways. So SPY don't actually drive the market, it just indicates it. So it basically pulled down a little bit. I think Tesla, Tesla held in there, but ended up selling off anyways. And I think I removed AMC, didn't I? I know AMC failed too. So then you can just see the same pain. Let me see what BBIG did, because I was expecting that one to push up, and it actually pulled back, I think. Yeah, I think that's the top of the max pain. It closed above it, and it pulled back with the rest of the market. I would expect it to probably snap right back up there to like 317, probably Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday. Here we are, 11:60, 8 minutes to go till close. Kind of expected to the T. They're convincing the bears that it's going to just keep dumping. You can see this blue line underneath here is already showing you the support bottom, and it's pretty big for a support. So let's see if we can guess the close on it here. Anywhere between 11:53 and 11:66. I bet you it closes at 11:54.
So I'm trying to get in HYMC, to be honest.
Oh, you want into it?
Yeah, I'm watching the chart. I'm actually going to buy some shares.
I was going to say, if you buy about 5 minutes till, are you getting options or raw?
No, raw shares, yeah.
Yeah, I would just buy it now.
I got a limit order.
See, the sellers are starting to pull back.
1.24, so I want it to hit.
It's consolidating right now, which means it's in a small wedge. Not a very big one. Let me see your 30-minute. That's looking like a wedge too. Yeah, wow. Wedge. There's your downtrend. All you gotta do is break that tomorrow. That's easy money. You can already see down here on the 30-minute, it's already crossed over. So anywhere at this point at 126 would have been a buying opportunity. As long as this keeps trending up, which it should tomorrow, then you get to deal with this, which is the bottom's already established on your 2 hour, and you're just waiting for it to turn up, break out, and just start pushing back up. You see right there, it's going to go into a gold cross possibly by morning, which will confirm your breakout. So buyers are stepping back in, just not quite there yet. They should be there by morning. It's the same patterns over and over. They're not even getting tricky about it anymore. Let me pull up MULN real quick. Same thing, it's starting to come off the bottom. It's oversold. I don't have another comparable bottom, so that's going to have to be the bottom. Right there, 95. See if we have a trend. I guess that is your wedge right there. I'm not seeing a bottom yet on the 2 hour. Maybe it'll show up on the 1. Nope. Don't see a bottom yet. Hopefully that is the bottom on it. It's looking awful convincing that it's not going to hold this support at 95, but it's definitely oversold. 30 minutes showing that it's the bottom, so maybe the 1 hour will light up at 4 o'clock or at the close.
What about AEI?
That one's so hard to see. Looks like almost exactly like HYMC. You can see here as the MACD is crossing over back here. That looks like a bottom at 32.06. And then your trend would be way back here, which is kind of weird. It's got that overbuy here. Or is it there? Either which way, by morning, this one's going to pop back up too, I think. Let me double check the 1 hour for bottom. Yep, gold cross is already kicking in. So it's already starting to move up. So it's back here. That's what I thought. It's from this point. So you're already breaking out right here. Now where it goes from here, I mean, you only got a couple different points. There's your C triangle. First move, you got to get to 34.27. And then we got to find the B, which I think it's there. And then there's your A triangle way up there. So your B triangle is going to be 38.36. And you don't have enough volume right now to get back up to 42.77 because that blue line cuts you off. So you're going to need more volume tomorrow than what you have right now. And you can see here the cash flow is already popping in. So you're already technically breaking out. So I have a feeling the whole market's going to do that tomorrow. We're not even getting that cash flow in yet. And you can see it's already about to go gold cross on 30 minutes. So it's telling us right there that AMC is going to pop out by tomorrow. Too much goofiness going on right here. $11.50 or $11.85. That's bouncing back. Let me see. We got a minute to go, and it's already popping up there. I didn't really expect that to happen. It did end up pulling up. So it's actually kind of letting us know that it's going to be bouncing back. Usually the last 5 minutes of the day or 10 minutes or so, people reposition themselves for the next day. I didn't expect it to be so obvious, but there it is. It's the early bounce. Market's already closing and it's already running up towards the end of the day. See here in the MACD, it's trending to go up. What's really weird is it just broke even at the end of the day. You see the MACD? Just broke even. That's weird.
Want to pull up CEI when you get a chance?
CEI?
Yeah.
We don't really have a double bottom. I don't know what the heck we have here. I'll just draw a line. It's got a bottom, just no double bottom. I mean, it looks like it's coming off of it, so that's all that matters. It doesn't always have to double bottom, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did come back down to 60.32 before bouncing back up, creating that complete cycle. It could just be running behind, but I'm not sure. You technically don't have a bottom yet, but I mean the after hours is here, and it can still float around and do whatever. But there's your longer wedge. Possibly going to do the same thing. I could be wrong on the wedge. It could also be something like this. But either which way, by morning, it's going to end up breaking out of that wedge. Actually, we'll do that. Usually don't count the first two candles of the day, or first candle of the day. There's a pre-market candle. You don't count that either. There's a live market candle, so you count that. So it puts you pretty much right back on point. Still the same time. By morning, it'll be ready to break out and start moving higher. Let's check the 1 hour to confirm. And you can see it's already coming off the bottom. It shows right here that's considered the bottom. I wonder if it shows up on the 5 minute. No double bottom. It's just a rolling bottom. Strange. Actually, it's up here. And that never made it far enough down.
So Twitter's been giving me a hard time with this stupid article crap. But I have one that...
Oh, you got a good article or something?
Yeah, I found two of them, but Twitter's a pain in the ass.
Sell check mark on 1 minute. It's not going to hurt anything if it does come back down in the after hours. Expect that it's going to, like we're looking at 13 by Thursday. So, like I said, it could overshoot it and then come back down. It depends on where the options stay. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of news articles I do want to pull up here too. So let me check and see if we have any questions first.
Yeah, go for it.
What's going on, Jay Portuguese, Koba, Melodug, David Schultz, Miss Harris, Tarek? Trapstar. Ape versus Wall Street. What's going on, man? Hey, Apes versus Wall Street. If you want to come in, I can send you an invite. I'll actually shoot it over to you now if you just want to pop in. You're always welcome to come on anytime, man.
So I did end up getting in at $1.24 a share.
Oh, nice. And it's raw stock too, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd Miss Harris go? There she is. She must be having problems with Twitter.
She is.
Twitter sucks with this space call stuff. Psychologist 69. Big ads. How you doing, Raventown? Gummy, Ant Card, Magus, Lord Kong, Sea Hill, Carl Taylor, and Mike Booth. How you guys doing? All right, let me see if we got any questions and stuff. Yeah, so the audio's been good ever since I turned the quality up, which is good because I couldn't stand that audio lag. It was driving me nuts. Hopefully it stays that way. $11.27 would have been SSR, says Mellow Doug. Yeah, I'm kind of glad we never hit it, but I don't think SSR really matters anymore because the market maker has all kinds of tricks that they can do to override it because they get those exceptions. Tarek says there is a huge put size on AMC at 10 maturing this Friday. When there's a huge stack of puts, and I'll pull it up here so you can see it too, because I know what you're looking at. Big stack of puts right there, and at 11. So when you think about it, the market maker bets against you. So whenever you put puts down, you're expecting the price to drop under that. Well, they don't want to pay you for that, so they take your money and they put buy orders right at 10. So I'm pretty sure if I went and pulled up the order book, I'd see a huge stack of calls, or not calls, but buy orders sitting at 10. And then I'd see another stack sitting at 11. And same thing on the other side with the calls. They take your call money and they basically put sell orders there or shorts or whatever they want to call them. And they put them right at these strike prices so you can't go in the money. And they do that because they create resistance by betting against you with your own money. So that's the problem about buying calls and puts is everything's inverted and smacked against you.
So Apes versus Wall Street says, I'll come into your next one, Froggy. He's running to the store. He
Okay.
appreciates it.
That's why I made that post before about no options may, just because of the fact that now knowing how they abuse us with their own money, I mean, that right there tells you kind of don't want to play the options unless you, the only way I can see it being beneficial is being deep in the money and you mess them up. Oh yeah, shoot, we got CPI coming in tomorrow. Well, AJ will let me know first thing in the morning. To be honest, I don't think it matters what the CPI is going to turn out. The market does what it wants. Like they pretty much have full control over everything. So.
Hello, everyone. Jeremy, I had a message, and I didn't hear you. Didn't tell me this, but I'm going to ask you because they said somebody told me they heard it. Someone's saying that they don't have to become a member because you're going to let everyone on. I didn't hear that from you.
No, when the squeeze happens, it's going to be members only. I'm not sure who's telling that, but that's just so only members can ask questions and stuff and get their answer quicker, because chat ends up getting kind of overrun with a lot of people in it. And if it's members only, you want to focus on the members first to make sure that their questions are answered, because they support you, so you want to make sure you get them first. And keeping chat kind of clear. I know a lot of people want to say hi and stuff like that, but when it comes to the squeeze, gotta focus on that money, because that's the most important thing. and again, that's just my thought on it, because I think everybody's gonna be stressing on the day of the squeeze, the days of the squeeze, because when it does start running up, the only thing people want to know is how much further we got, what's a good price, why is my app doing this, why is this happening, and we probably need to be focused on those questions instead of all the other ones, because it's basically payday. And sometimes not timing is probably important. Like in my case, there's no way I can go to work that day, because it's going to be the difference between like 10,000 and 100,000 per, because the movements are going to be huge. So you figure with as many shares as I got, like if I'm sitting at work and I'm messing around on my phone while I'm trying to work, there's no guarantee I'm getting in and out when I want to. I'd rather be sitting at the computer staring at the screen, knowing exactly what I'm doing, waiting with my order just to go and put it through when I exactly want to. You got limit orders, market orders, which we won't be using market orders. There's going to be probably, I'm expecting there to be app problems and stuff. Hopefully there's not. I mean, there's been weird questions that have popped up. Mediocre Trader, you probably heard this one before. What happens if they don't let you sell? I don't know at that point. The only thing you can do is call your broker and complain, but screenshot everything just to make sure that, you got proof that they're pulling shenanigans. I don't know. Expect shenanigans. So if somebody says, hey, my broker is not letting me do this, screenshot it, give them a call, complain. That's pretty much all you can do. If the phone's not working right, go to a desktop, go to a laptop, go to a different phone, sign in. Maybe it's the phone. It could be an update. If they hotfix stuff going into the squeeze, some apps might not even allow you to log in or do anything. You just update your app. There's so many little things that can happen. I just kind of hope it doesn't happen that way, and then we get a nice clean, exit without headaches and grief.
Yeah, I hope they don't play with it at all. I hope they don't do no craziness.
Kind of clear for that, because we should be focusing on the days of the squeeze, because I expect it to take many days. We should be focused on the important questions. Jay Porgy says the roller coaster is coming to an end, folks. I really hope he's right, because P&L gets worse per day. Like I'm finally under my average, so it kind of sucks. But I'm buying more now than I was before. I think it's just numerical based. They keep making it cheaper. I get more quantity.
Well, see, now I don't mind buying as much,
yeah,
because of all the information now that we have. Before, in the beginning, we didn't have nothing,
Well, before I was taking my money that was incoming, and I'd buy an option and I'd flip it around, make money, and buy shares. Now I'm not even buying options anymore. I'm just going straight to shares. So my trading strategy's already changed. They've made it so cheap that I'm under my average, and I feel like I'm stealing shares at this price. And I kind of love it because, like, I mean, I got so anxious I bought yesterday. Knowing today was going to be a lower low, I still bought. So, I mean, I don't know. I like the prices. I don't like the P&L. It looks horrible. You know, to feel like I've pretty much started over is crazy, but I keep loading up. Like I said, between yesterday and today, I think I bought 120.
Do you want to pull up the AMC chart and go back a year and look at the $10 level for Doug? He's trying to show us something, I guess.
Back when Wanda smacked us around. I remember those days. I was so angry. I was like, what's selling? Who is selling so many shares? And then found out it was Wanda. Yeah, right down through here, I think, is when I bought in. Because I had this line drawn up here, and I seen it dip down, and I was like 1, 2, 3, and then I seen that last dip, and I was like, okay, I think it was right about here. Yep, right about there. 10 something. I thought it was like 10 and a quarter. And I started messaging a whole bunch of my friends. It's about the breakout. It's the fourth hit coming. And then right here, that's when Vanguard and BlackRock bought in all their shares right at confirmation breakout.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at the $10 mark?
I don't know what he was trying to say. Look at it. We want your opinion on what you think going forward. I don't know.
Oh, well, I'll show you something that I was playing with. This is probably what he's looking for, is a comparison. So we'll take this chart here, run it all the way across, make one of these things, little bar charts. And then we're going to stretch it a whole bunch. And we're going to make it line up and see if it correlates in any which way. And I keep staring at this thing because, like, I don't want to put dates on anything, but it's just kind of neat that there's a possibility of the past repeating. Kind of does look like it fits in there a little bit, doesn't it? I mean, it does look like it fits. There's your bump there, your bump there. You got your double dip right there, your bump here, a breakout up here, and then a run to the moon. So, I mean, now you can't predict how high it's going to go because, like, once it gets into that squeeze territory where you get the margin calls, this blue thing will mean absolutely nothing. But now what happened back here in January is they shut off the buy button, so you didn't get to see the rest of this play out. So you had to line it up over here. And that's what I did, was I lined it up the beginning, and then anything after the 27th, I didn't count much of it because I knew it was manipulated time frame. But you can see what I'm looking at here. And one really weird part about this is it lines almost right up with Boss Bluntz's June 3rd. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It says right there, June 1st. I'm sure I could stretch it to where June 3rd pops into a breakout, but then it goes back, pulls back, and rips. So, I mean, I think it's just kind of ironic that it lines up that way. Do you see what I'm looking at, Mediocre?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, there's the 27th right there where they shut that buy button off, or this thing would have kept going. I could squeeze it down to fit more perfect, but the patterns aren't supposed to repeat perfect anyways. They're supposed to be volume-based. That's how you get that speed up and slow down kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see they kind of run up the same exact way. There's that little double bounce right there for that double bottom. Spike right there. We're going through this thing right here. See that? Going through that same little time frame right there. It even dips down more right here. Kind of sells off. Curves back up. Pretty interesting stuff. Will it repeat? That's the question. And what's the time frame that I keep calling out? June or July 11th. That's the Phase 5 CAT system that Bigums has been talking about. So I've been calling that out too, July 11th, because that's the same time frame. Originally, I had this shrunk down to where 420 was the breakout point, and then I realized I was wrong.
C Hill wants to know what the options look like for that time frame.
What, for July 11th or for the breakout on June 3rd?
Both. How about both? Just so we answer his question.
June 3rd. They're real light, but they're kind of off the chart at 35. Lots of puts at 10 for some reason, but there's not very many options there at all. And then I think it would be right here. Same exact thing. A whole bunch sitting at 145. It's almost like somebody knew something's going on there.
What's the on-balance volume look like today? Since I
What
can't
is it?
pop mine up on my chart. On-balance volume.
Oh, I don't even use that one. The money one does pretty much the same thing. So if we just stay zoomed in on it, it'll work the exact same way.
Gotcha.
And you see the cash has just been flowing out for steady days. Float out first thing in the morning, pop back up. That's where you're getting that bottom established. Right there, double bottom. And you can even see the buyers are starting to step back in to basically confirm the bottom too. So it's there. Let me go check out and see where Fidelity's listing these things at. Upstart got smashed today. Did anybody see that? UPST down 56%. Ouch. GME's ranked number 6 today, and 91% buys, 9% sales, 6,700 buy orders on Fidelity. That's solid. SoFi is down 12%. AMC, 5,600 buy orders. See, that's the crazy part about AMC. GME has less shareholders, less shares, and they have more buy orders. So that's something to keep an eye on. 79% buys for AMC, 21% sales. And that's just on Fidelity.
Later, Doug. Have a good night.
Vroom, VRM, up 32% today. I have no idea what that is. NWBO, down 58%. Wow. Yeah, I think the shorts are going to have to cover eventually. I mean, you figure next quarter is going to be amazing. I mean, oh yeah, look at that. See what the earnings is on that chart? Covered before earnings.
Yeah.
Just as I called earlier. Remember that?
Yeah.
I said that if they're smart, they'll cover before the earnings because that will guarantee pain. And you see it right there. Covered before earnings.
We were talking on the phone. We weren't even looking at charts when we were talking about it.
Yeah, I had no idea when the next earnings was coming up.
That's interesting.
That's Click was telling me he was making a prediction to me last night. He said, "Mark my word." He made a prediction to me months ago, guys. I'm serious, months ago. He said, "Watch the media try to spin this on us, on us." He said it's months ago. I swear you not, months ago, and they did wind up doing it. They put it back on based off his predictions. And then his prediction yesterday, he said, "Watch the shorts cover before next quarter." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" And he broke everything down like, wow. Okay, so that was his prediction. I'm not just saying that, guys. He did predict all this.
Yeah, I just stretched this thing out, and it lined up right before August 11th. Or is that the date? Yeah, 11th. I did predict that they were going to spin it on us because they have to have an scapegoat. They've tried using Russia. Oh, Russia's the reason why our economy's XYZ. No, it's failed policies, failed government, failed Fed, failed hedge funds, failed market maker. So they're failing us, but then they got to find an scapegoat so they don't get blamed for it. So what's going to happen when retirement accounts get drained by 50%? Well, they're not going to take the blame for it. They're going to point the fingers and say, "Oh, retail that bought into AMC and GME did this." Well, why is your retirement account shorting these stocks? Why are you lending or why are you borrowing against the long positions of their retirement account and then turn around and shorting these stocks knowing you can lose everything? Because a short is basically, if you don't get out soon enough, an infinite loss. Now, what's going to happen when those accounts get drained down, and I was just predicting this on the phone, those PSDs, what does PSD stand for? Do you remember Mediocre?
Would you ask me?
The PSD, those retirement accounts?
You're talking about for the federal government there?
Yeah, the federal government retirement accounts.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to close the, I don't know what you call it, where they can make adjustments to their retirement account. It closes on the 16th.
Yeah.
So after the 16th, once all the government and military or whatever retirement accounts are basically considered stabilized and locked in for, I don't know if it's a 1 year period, a quarter, or whatever. Once they stabilize those, I expect shenanigans to happen after that date because, like, one part of me wants to think that we're going to double down this week and go into that super dip before we rip up. But I think we're kind of there now. And as you can kind of see here, it looks like we're going to get a bounce back and then possibly go back in. Technically, this point right here should probably not have touched. Because if you see it based on here, first point, second point, third point, breakout, which is fourth point, that threw in the illusion that we had 3 points, which would have gave you the illusion we broke out here. That's why it failed and went down. Because this point here gave us the illusion on technical analysis that it was good. This point right here was basically FOMO starting to pick up, and they got it under control with a whole bunch of red days in a row. Now, they could have been the ones buying this up to try to mess with the pattern. Who knows exactly? But you can see the pattern runs in line. Here's your double bump right here. This should have been the top, not this one and this one. So it's kind of interesting now that you see it that way. So, but we got a lot of good things coming up. Anything after the 16th of this month leading up until August 11th is going to be like, be ready. If June 3rd does run up like Boss Blunt says, and we get that breakout, I mean, that breakout might not stop right there. There's your C triangle. And anytime you break out of one of these things, that's the point I expect this thing to go up to, 34. So it would probably pop up like that and then pull back and then rip. If I'm right, I wouldn't bet the farm or nothing on it. I'm just saying there's your first point, 34, 36. That's the pain line. And then after that,
I got a question for chat when you're done.
After that, there's your points.
My question is, why didn't Adam Aaron last night give out any Dr. Strange numbers?
Yeah, I was wondering that. I thought that was really weird, and why he mentioned it 4 times. Like I've heard so many people saying, well, it's because it means DRS. No, there's no way he'd be suggesting DRS. There's nothing that Adam can do at this point that's going to change what's going to happen on this stock. It could have sped things up if he would have done everything perfect, but this can't be stopped, I don't think. The only way you can stop this squeeze from happening is convince people that this is no longer a play, which is almost impossible, because even if they drop the price to 4, I'm buying more. If they ran it up to 72, I'd still be holding on because I know that the stock is worth more than 72. So what could they...
One moment, sorry. X-Man, just click the link to become a member. He's asking how you become a member. I'm sorry. I don't want to forget. Just click the link. I just posted it, and it takes you straight to it. Thank you. Go ahead, Froggy.
So there's almost nothing they can do to convince me to get out of this play. They might be able to convince some of the people that are shaken after all this. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully people realize that this thing's worth like a lot more than what it could be even if it only went to 100 and did a small pullback. Because we sat in this play for such a long time. If you remember before this happened, Reddit was squeezing stocks left and right, little ones. They would go up and they'd hit a stock and they'd squeeze it. They'd hit another stock and they'd squeeze it. Then they hit this one in GME and they started to squeeze them. But then the ones that they were squeezing, the big money was in. The big shorts. So they fought back. We weren't playing with little hedge funds. We were playing with the market maker with massive hedge funds and a whole bunch of them. So they put up a fight, and this lingered on for over a year. So when it comes down to the reward, hopefully the time that we have in, all the little squeeze plays that we could have created along the way, this thing blows all of them out of the water. And that's what I'm kind of got my mindset on is, like, you buy the one share now, even if it only goes to 1,000, which I think would still be shortchanging it, who wouldn't pay $12 to go to 1,000? You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at. And that's why I keep loading up. All my extra money goes into it. Now, I think it's going to 5 to 10 still. I mean, according to like Al from Boston, he thinks we're going like 100 to a million, which I think is ludicrous. But hey, I hope he's right. I really hope he's right. I would love to see my money indicator lie to me, and not really lie. I like to see this thing go about halfway covered, and we'll be sitting at 5 to 10,000. Then I could be like, hey, we're only halfway there. When I see that, and the thing is, once we get back to zero, that doesn't mean we're done. We entered into the new area of how many shares were actually purchased, and we don't even know. We don't know how many FTDs are out there. We don't know how many synthetics are out there. We don't even know how many shareholders have bought shares. So this thing could get wild, and I honestly don't think they have the money to cover it.
Neither do I, dude.
If you
it's going to be interesting.
You look in the order book during the day, and you start looking for all the shares for sale. Just start adding them up. Just quick estimate them. You don't have to be exactly right. Just scroll a couple and say like 10,000 here, 10,000 there. Add in the big numbers. You'll come up with less than 10 million shares real easy. Then you wonder, where are they going to get 130 million shares when you can't even count 10 million in the order book? Where are they getting all these shares? Yeah, Al from Boston says it has a potential to go over 100K. I think he might be right. It has potential, but the money has to be there. I mean, that's just the way it is. If they don't have the money to pay us to 100,000 per share, we'll never get it. But the potential to be infinite is nice. What's your thoughts, Mediocre Trader?
I'm hoping it goes to 10,000 a share. You know what I mean? And I don't know. There's a lot of math. You know, I hope they don't try to destroy. You know, basically they have the ball in their court. They're either going to destroy the stock market and destroy faith in free and fair markets, which we don't have, but you know, let's be real, but they want to portray that a very specific way that we do, right? So that's why I think they're going to pay. Other than that, I don't know, but I heard a rumor about what we're talking about Doctor Strange 4 times thing being, you know,
yeah,
the float that many times over. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, I assure you, because I know, I know. There's a lot of comments coming in right now. One is $63 trillion insurance thing, which I haven't even got to prove that yet, so I can't even use that number. I would hope that that's real.
But that's market wide, isn't it?
Yeah, it's market wide.
So we're not the only ones going to squeeze, guys. That's the whole thing. You got GameStop, which has a big short interest, and there's a lot of stocks that are in basically the same boat, but not the same boat, because AMC and I'm suspecting GameStop, which I don't do a lot of research on GameStop, so I can't really tell you that. But AMC, I'm sure there is more than the float of shares. I'm pretty confident in that.
No, Rob has a good point here. He says we can't get to 100. How are we going to get to 100K? But eventually, they're going to let this thing go. I don't see 100K being the number. Maybe a peak number. We might see one share trade at 100K, but they couldn't afford to pay everybody 100K. So
my question is, though, what do they do with the rest of the shares? Somebody's getting paid.
which ones?
Right? I don't know. The failure to deliver, the synthetics, whatever you want to call them. I don't care what you call them.
I'll tell you how the synthetics are going to go. They don't have to cover those per se of like, there's no margin call that's going to come in and say you have to cover the synthetics or the IOUs, because your broker is the only one who knows that they gave you a real share or an IOU. So when you sell your position, they're going to be forced to cover that. So nobody's going to know that, like Robinhood, Webull, E-Trade, Ameritrade gave you an IOU. Now, once they go and they start tapping out, they're like Conor McGregor, like, whoa, I've had too much. You'll know. You'll see that they're going to just fold. And then that's when I wonder what's next.
I guess my question is, right, it's the shares that they're bouncing between each other. So somebody owes somebody money. No? So one broker or one hedge fund is going to want the money from the other. So they're going to have to cover those too, is my point, right? I mean, I know all the shares that we bought, right? That say we bought fake shares, which I'm pretty sure we did. Let's be real, right?
We'll never know the synthetic count. We'll never find out, because E-Trade will never tell anybody how many people they ripped off. Ameritrade, same exact thing. Fidelity, same exact thing. This is their secret that they keep to their grave, which this might put them to their grave.
No, I agree, but what I'm trying to get at though is they're going to have to pay for those shares, especially if we're holding them, right? Because it's just a digit in our account. So
yeah, what's going to hurt them is when you start selling. When you start to sell, that's when the pain kicks in. The price could go to 100,000. That doesn't hurt anybody. It's the day that you sell it. Whoever is responsible for that share, if you have a real share, they don't have to sweat it. If you got a synthetic share, that's going to hurt them so bad. So that's what they have to worry about. Now the FTDs, I think that's going to just create pain on top of pain. The shorts, when they have to get bought back, that's going to hurt. And then the FTDs having to be covered, that's going to hurt. And then when you compound those all together, like I said, the synthetics will not matter. The number will never know. Never, ever, ever know. There's people that are going to be bag holding this thing, which is going to be so stupid because they're going to be thinking, ooh, 1 million per share. And that will probably be about 20% of the people that own shares, because there was already a poll conducted from before. There was a poll that I put out, and there was a vote that came out. We got to see the numbers. A lot of people are going to be getting out before 100,000. So like 70% of the people.
Casey, send me another message so it pops up on my computer. I don't have my phone on me.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll read comments. Christian Princess says either way they have to pay, right? I believe so. That's my point. So I think that they have to pay all of them, regardless of who has them. I don't see how they can do some hokey pokey baloney. I'm talking about hedge funds to hedge funds. If they're trading back and forth, even they're going to want there to be paid from whoever owes whoever money. Like, those aren't going to just get wiped away, I doubt. That's my guess. But all the shares that we own, whether it's over the float or not, if it's a digit in your account, I believe that we get paid. Just my opinion. because they're not going to not pay us. If you got the digit in your account, you're getting paid.
What happens? What happens when your broker can't cover all the synthetics that all their little IOUs that they offered people? What happens when they can't cover those? Who covers the broker? Is that the DTCC insurance? Because Robinhood's going to be one of the first ones tapping out. So this is my prediction. So I think at some point we kind of got tricked, because when everybody was loaded up on Robinhood and they were told, you can't trust Robinhood, go to Fidelity. And everybody went to Fidelity because Fidelity has a lot more of that money. If you would have just all sat at Robinhood, they couldn't afford it. They would have been the first one margin called, and they would have made the dominoes fall sooner.
But it's too late now.
Yeah, I'm not saying to change back or anything like that. But they extended this out by doing shenanigans like that, by talking us into jumping to new brokers. So Fidelity could absorb so much damage. So that's what happened. Everybody went over to Fidelity, eased up the pressure on Robinhood, so Robinhood could, basically survive longer. If we would have just stayed right where we were, the pain would have just built up, and Robinhood would have just imploded. And that's pretty much it. And then when Robinhood would have got margin called, which would have happened, it would have knocked over Webull, that would have knocked over E-Trade, it would have knocked over Ameritrade, and Fidelity would have fell. And it would have just been bing, 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 bing. But somebody came up with the idea of, go to Fidelity, they're so much better. And all of a sudden now they're pulling shenanigans because they're all working together. So that's how they made this delay for as long as they did. And as long as we ain't hopping from new broker to new broker, we stay right where we are, eventually one of the little brokers is just going to blow up. It only takes one. It will probably be Robinhood. Robinhood or Webull, one of the two can't afford it. That's why they said go to Fidelity, because they can afford it. But they can't go buy more shares. They don't want to, because as soon as they start buying shares, they know they've been lending out shares. So they start buying the price and moving it up. That causes problems. Look at Vanguard and BlackRock. I think they're lending out shares. Eventually, they're going to call them in. This thing's going to explode. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about DRS. If we were going to do DRS, we should have done that a long time ago. And that would put us into like a legal battle kind of thing, which would have sucked even worse. I think at least this way, without the DRS, we get the pain and suffering of time delay, but at least we have a chance for a clean squeeze. You look at CMKX Diamonds, that little diamond company that was pretty much like a fake company. They DRS their shares, and they were able to find out that there was more than the float out there. And they took it to court. The SEC basically stole the money, got sued. They hid the money, and I don't think anybody got paid. So you don't want that legal process because it's all corrupt. And here we are. All that stuff went down, I think, in like 2009. Here we are, same situation, but with a real company that's going to really survive and that makes real money. They can't just sweep this under the rug. So CMKX, it was pretty much a fake diamond company from what I understand. Wasn't worth it.
Yeah, they can try and blame us too for the market crash, but 100% that's all them.
Yeah, they're going to blame us, but the way I'm looking at it, I'm not too worried about it, because I know I'm not the reason why the retirement accounts are going to get drained, because we played legit plays the right way, and they're going to try to say, hey, look, it's retail that did it, and they're already doing it now. So they have to make scapegoats. Unfortunately, they're already making that move. If we weren't relevant, they wouldn't be using us as an scapegoat. So that means that we must be getting close, because basically the FUD's already coming out.
That's the other thing too, is, you know, they're just mad because we beat them to the punch. We got into all the COVID recovery plays, you know, and they couldn't do what they wanted to do.
Bad retail. How would you buy? Why would you buy a company that was almost bankrupt and hold on to it and just keep pumping money into it? That's what they're basically trying to say.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? You find a distressed company and you buy into it. That's exactly what Mudrick Capital does. And they've made a lot of money doing that. They buy distressed companies, they turn them around, they make money on it. Instead, retail's doing that, and we get a squeeze play on top of it. So it's a win-win.
Yep. They're just mad because they got beat to the punch, right? I mean, think about it. All we did was support an American-made company that's 100 years old that we didn't want to go under, so we bought into it. There's nothing wrong with what we did. They can blame us all they want. I don't care. I don't feel bad for them.
Yeah, Richard says right here, this is the best clone of the AMC chart I've seen. I just kind of pulled it up quick, and it is just kind of weird how it lines up so perfect.
I wonder why Doug wants it to go to $10. I'm going to have a talk with that man.
Probably wants more shares. I personally don't want to see it pop back down to 10, but
I don't either.
I mean, I would keep buying. I mean, I know that the end is near. It's just when. I'm hoping my chart is exactly right.
C. Hill says, but Gasparino said the meme craze was over. There's no squeeze, so how could a market crash be retail's fault? They can't have both. I agree. Exactly, Brenda. We just bought a stock, a good stock. I thought it was a good stock. I thought it was a good investment. I still do. It gets better and better every day. Why would I sell a stock that keeps getting better and better for me every day? I don't care how much you push it down. Why do we have articles saying that it's worth $30? But we're sitting at $11.80. It don't make sense. Why would I sell it when I could get back to 30? We'll talk about it when I get back to $30. How about that?
It would be nice to see it back at 30 short term.
Exactly. That's my point. Like, you can throw your FUD around. And I'm not talking about Brenda, not you. I know you're 100% agree with me, but I'm talking about them making FUD articles. Like I seen one today that said it's worth $1. You got to be a joke to think it's worth $1.
Country Pride Entertainment says, has anyone had issues with Fidelity and IEX canceling orders? I've heard a lot of people actually say it. So I'm not sure about IEX because that's who Fidelity's supposed to direct to. But I've heard they've been canceling orders, but I don't know. As of recent, I haven't heard the problems. But like, what was it, a week, 2 weeks ago? I've heard problems. And then this one too, Fidelity. They heard that they were running through the Darkpool. That was just for, I think, that one day where they couldn't direct it to the IEX and they went to the Darkpool instead, and they got caught doing it. So I'm not sure if that was an oopsie, fraud, what it was, but I definitely heard about that.
What these idiot market makers and hedge funds don't realize, and this is a true statement, they just don't get it, is that they made such a big deal about it. They drove in way more people. So there's 4 million people in this, and then they're holding this stock. So what do? They go out, they go watch movies, they go buy popcorn, they go buy food, they go buy everything. So what happens? We beat everything in earnings, everything. And what do? They try to push it down and act like it's a loser. Dude, we're just going to keep going to the movies and eating the popcorn and all that happiness. We're going to have popcorn in the grocery store soon. What are they going to do? They can't win. It's crazy, dude. Where'd you go, Froggy?
I'm here.
I thought you got kicked for a second. I'm like, what the heck happened?
Yep. Somebody was asking about Cinemark and how Cinemark is worth more. Technically, Cinemark is only worth $1.7 billion. So it's based upon shares on float, which I'm about to pull up here in a second. Because we have a float of 516 million. I wonder why E-Trade's asking me to open an account. Oh, it's because I'm not signed in.
The problem is I know people are hurting. There's some people who bought, at the top of that run up, right? I know they're hurting, but as long as they understand, don't look at your P&L. Who cares? I mean, I'm not financial advice. If you want to look at your P&L, go right ahead. But it's kind of a waste of time if you know that the people down the bottom aren't really going to sell. I mean, I'm just saying. As much FUD is out there, and I can't speak for everybody. I speak for myself, but I ain't selling.
Now the question is how come Cinemark is trading higher price than we are? They have a market cap of 1.7 billion, where I'm sure ours is higher than that. But we also have 4.3 million more shares, 4.3 times more shares than they do. So you would actually divide their price down by 4.3, and that would tell you what they would be trading at if they had the same amount of shares as we did. Oh, I see we got Spence. Hold on, Spence, I'm getting you. There you go, man. Floor is yours if you want to talk.
Hey, Spence, before you talk, I just want to tell you, you know what I mean? I just jumped in today to HYMC for you, buddy. You there?
Yeah, Spence, floor is yours, man, if you want to talk. He might be busy. I see. Yeah. But yeah, that's the only reason why Cinemark is trading at a higher higher price than us. We have a higher market cap, and we got a lot more shares than they do. Oh.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
What's up, buddy?
I was muted by the host.
Yeah, we set that, and then we forget to turn it back off.
I got something really interesting for you guys, and it goes on the theory that the markets are cyclical. This day last year, Bitcoin took a $30,000 nosedive within a 15-day period, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting that we just had that happen again on the dot. What happened later was March 24th, AMC started its 13 trading day run to 72. These dates are directly on the dot. Bitcoin's doing the exact same thing. AMC call options on May 20th are insane out to $50 and $60. And then past that into June and July, they're talking like 145. I'm not saying buy call options by any means. No options May. No options to November. But it sure does look like everything's set up the same, except this time the hedge funds are in deep poop because their blue chips, their long positions are down over 40% compared to last year.
Now, look at this chart that I got pulled up here. Let me make sure it's pulled up so you guys can see it. I drew these lines a long time ago. And you can see I drew it to the top and the bottom. It created a channel. Look what happened when it broke off that channel. It actually fell. And that's about the time frame they put that ETF in on Bitcoin too, which I think is also ironic.
If you go all the way out too, you look at the daily, AMC's been in a long descending wedge for quite a while. So we're approaching the same date and time frame as the last $72 run with Bitcoin and crypto doing the exact same thing. except this time hedge funds are extremely over leveraged, and we know retail owns the entire float. Adam Aaron can't come out and say that legally, but he basically said it. So I'm pretty much I'm waiting for the last of my money to roll over tomorrow or Thursday, but I'm basically going to have everything in Highcroft and AMC. And then Reuters just came out and reported that Tesla and Musk are up for buying a mining company.
Oh,
and Highcroft's 3 hours away from Nevada Gigafactory.
I was checking that out too. I was like, what's the odds they're close by? And they're pretty close. They're on the same, what is that, west side? Towards the north?
Yeah, they're right down the highway from each other. It's a literal state highway shot right at the Gigafactory.
Yeah, I was checking that out the other day. I was curious. It's like, well, Elon might want some lithium from out there, and he says he has a process that would make lithium easy coming out of sand. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, where's Highcroft located? And I'm like, oh, it's just a little bit above it. I was like,
look at the geology of their location, though. They're on the west side of that mountain range, and when you go down from that mountain range off their property, I think it's called the Black Rock Desert, and it's like a basin washout. It's perfect lithium country.
Wait, look at that. You might be onto something about that Bitcoin.
Check the dates, man.
Well, that's what I'm looking at right now. Like, you got that run up right there, which looks like just before June. The double top, the pullback, the run back up. Bounce down. It would be the opposite. So instead of it going up, it would be going down. Because they took the money back from us is what they were doing.
Yep. May 10th, it started dipping down. And then by, let's see. Let me go out here. I'm on the wrong chart. There we go.
You see this one? Do you see this one on AMC that I got pulled up here? I just basically did January to June, and I pulled it up and I stretched it out, and it does line up pretty nice.
It fits right in perfectly with our no options plan too, and my Hoyles method that I've been doing. Because we were talking next week, we were talking a $20 attempt for AMC with the highest open interest on the lowest strike that's worth it for the market makers to steal. But there is rumblings and grumblings of how much retail has pulled out of the options chain everywhere I look. So now the hedge funds are not going to have any incentive to steal premiums at lower prices. Because if they don't have the premiums to steal, then all they're doing is betting against themselves. So AMC has the potential this Friday to put 16,000 puts out of the money on $10.
Yeah, like I've been actually I've sold all my options and I just went straight into raw shares, and I'm just basically kind of riding this little storm out, figuring this is like our perfect dip buy. I got so excited yesterday I bought in knowing that today was going to be the second day down for that T+2, and it went down more. I wasn't too worried about it. I just felt like I was stealing the stock for this price. Never thought I'd see these numbers again.
Yep. Look at the overall chart pattern too. We're back to the kind of center line level where we came off of the buy button scandal. From $5, came back up. We piddled around for 4 or 5 months. And then on May 24th, we got that big boom boom candle and we started rocketing up for the next 13 days. At that point in time, though, the hedge funds were still strong on their longs. Netflix was still over $300. Everything's in the dirt now. We just had a 34 spike, and then they just slammed us down to 1150, which was the old launch pad. If you look at the bottom the bottom support on May 21st, it was pretty much that price. So we have all the same indicators on crypto, AMC. It's, you know, the long-term daily descending wedge that I have charted out, we just hit the very, very tip of that wedge, which means we're either going to break down or up. And at this point in time, the way the chart looks historically looks pretty dang good to me. So
I noticed that as well, Spencer. I looked at that today.
But
well, I feel like time's running out for them because you figure this is going to be our worst quarter for an entire year. The next 2 quarters are going to be amazing. And we did really good on this quarter, surprisingly better than I expected. And they, in my opinion, and I called this out, I think last night and today on the phone before I pulled this up, I said they're going to want to cover or close them short, or cover them shorts by next earnings. And you can see where I drew it up, and you can see it runs up just before the next earning. And the wedge also completes about July 11th, which is the phase 5 CAT system that comes in. And that's that, if I remember right, that's the track and trace of your orders. So the odds that everything is lining up for a wedge officially breaking out, which we've had a lot of near falls, but how I got tricked into thinking it was going to break way back here was this little thing here was higher than it should have been. And if you overlap these charts, you can see it should have stayed down lower, and the high was really here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then it would dip into a 4th, which would be your breakout, your dip before your rip, and then there you go.
check this out too. Adam Aaron said they should be profitable by Q4. I think they'll do it in Q3, just based on, they said 450 million globally, and AMC took in 26%. That is huge. For them to have almost a 30% market share of that movie launching was amazing. So AMC's talking return to profitability plus a new revenue stream by Q4. And Diane Garrett from Highcroft said they'll be full-scale commercialized operations by the end of the year. So you're having two major catalysts that are linked together slam right at the end of the year. And if somehow they announce that credit card prior to the end of the year, this is going to be huge, man. I don't see anything negative about it. We all know the price action is complete BS. So
now, I don't know if you looked into this. This is one thing that I was staring at from the Edgar files when he posted up all of his numbers and stuff like that. I was looking at it. He never ended up paying the mortgages that he owed. He kind of set it up for what it looks like a 1.5 to 2 year agreement to go and pay it over time. You know, where they had that moratorium stuff. So you figure he's paying all of those previous rents on top of current rent, and he made an agreement to work on all those. And if I remember right, did he not say that by January that will free up that money?
yeah, Sean Goodman, the guy that's with the English accent from South Africa.
Yeah. He's
the one that's going on the Highcroft board of directors. He said and announced that they had paid a considerable amount of their deferred rent. You can actually hear it if you go back through the earnings call. They'll talk about how much deferred rent that they've paid off, which is part of what the dip in our cash on hand was.
Exactly.
Where we went from 1.7 to 1.3 billion. But here's my thing I tweeted today, since the only thing I don't like is they're a little late at striking the anvil, right? It seems like they're pushing this stuff out way too late. They need to do it quicker at a faster pace. And since we're not getting our NFT for sale as quickly as I like, although I do think they're going to do it, all everybody has to do is go buy 4 bags of popcorn a month from AMC theaters. You don't even have to watch a movie. Go watch a movie for sure. But if you get 4 bags of popcorn a month from AMC theaters, you swing by, you pick one up. If all 4 million retail investors did that, 4 bags a month for the next 7 months, without taking away what it costs them to sell, which is like an 86% profit margin anyways, you could bring in $715 million annually in a 7-month period.
I got one better than that. Watch this one. So when Adam diluted all them shares and he put that money in the war chest, what did he say that money was for? Paying down debt, right? So what debt has he paid with that yet? He said he's got a quiver or an arrow in his quiver or whatever it was he was saying. Wait until he decides to drop, I don't know, $200 million out of that war chest and pay off some of his debt. That would free up some of his monthly expenses. We would guarantee to be profitable whenever he decided to drop that dime.
Yep.
And he even says he's waiting for the opportunity to pounce. And I'm sitting there thinking, all he has to do is pay off all the previous rent that he is set up right now that he's paying over time. He could take that money right out of that war chest, pay it off, and we'd guarantee to hit positive earnings. And it would be checkmate over.
If we get to Q4 and we're cash flow positive, or Q3, say we're cash flow positive, he'll probably do that. He'll probably pay off the Silver Lake 2026 note, which is the one with the dividend covenant. The key is getting that secondary revenue stream set up, that the popcorn sales, because if they can bring in even minimum $150 million a year with popcorn sales, that will cover any deferred rent payments that they had previously. So I'm fully convinced we're going to be profitable in Q4 with all these movies coming out. And then we're going to have that secondary revenue stream, say at 75% profit margin, being extremely conservative, which they can use to pay off any of the deferred rent from the past. And then going forward, after operating costs for the popcorn facility, they can start tackling the rest of the company's debt year after year. So they're set up perfectly. I'm loving every single thing that is going on right now.
It's just a matter of when, and that's the thing. Like, if the shorts haven't got the clue yet, it doesn't make any sense why they haven't, because he's got so much money sitting there that it's not that he can pull us out of debt, but he can free up our monthly payments by enough to turn profitable per quarter. And that's all you need to wipe out the shorts is profitability. You don't even need the dividend no more. We already know that there's more than the float out there. And like he said, instead of playing with the price of the stock, we can do it like the right way, which is exactly everything he's doing. It's like the most legal way to cause a squeeze.
I'll tell everybody right now, the best thing you can possibly do right now is go to the movies. Go buy popcorn, go to the movies, funnel money into the AMC company through your consumer power. That is the number one most important thing you can do right now.
Exactly, and I'll add to that, because you're going to get all that back when this thing goes off. So who cares? You're talking peanuts. You know what I mean? You're going to go spend peanuts and have a good time.
All of it.
Yep. Yeah, they can't short revenue. That's the thing. If you buy the stock, they can short that and hide the price. But you buy products and stuff, they can't short it. Those numbers will come out.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the tweet? I don't know if it's true or not, but it looks like the next item they're going to sell at AMC theaters, like the Batman mask and the popcorn box from Doctor Strange. There's a tweet out showing something from an event where it's Thor's hammer with the handle and everything that holds your popcorn.
I want that.
Here. So you got Top Gun opening advance tickets on May 24th for AMC Stubs members and Investor Connect members. Jurassic Park, Thor: Love and Thunder, Avatar 2, and we're not even done with Doctor Strange yet. Doctor Strange most likely will cross $1.5 billion with no problem whatsoever. And remember that when you go to the movies after the first week of an opening title, the theater actually gets more on the admissions ticket. So if you don't make the opening, don't feel bad. You're giving AMC theaters more money a week or two later by going at that time.
That's interesting. I didn't know that either.
Well, you figure all these movies, they held off on putting them out in theaters. Now we have a loaded plate full of really good movies, and we get to release them all. So it's like, I don't know, it's perfect timing for us that everything's lining up. And the only reason why this quarter, if I remember right, it's a shorter quarter for us because they brought their earnings, and it's not exactly a quarter later. I think they were short, a half a month? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to tell you, Q2 is going to explode with what they made on Doctor Strange and the fact that Top Gun is coming out. Is it going to come out in time?
Yeah.
24th?
I think so.
Memorial Day.
Q2 is going to blow up. Like, I'm talking maybe negative. If estimates are sitting probably around negative 10 cents EPS, but we're going to take back some serious ground on Q2.
We've been taking ground back from the beginning. We've been.
Yeah.
They just think that I don't know why they think they can win. They lost. Just pay up already.
Man. May 27th is Top Gun. So that's huge.
Yep.
2 major titles in one quarter with a 28%. What did they say? Did they say 28% increase in concession sales?
I can't remember, but I do know it's pretty good.
I'm not going to lie. I've bought the damn nuggets the past 2 times I've went, and I enjoyed them. They were crispy and delicious. So
one of those bow tie theaters he was talking about opening up under the AMC brand.
Yep. They're doing a phenomenal job. It's something we don't talk about. Them closing down the theaters that were not performing and opening ones that have higher admission numbers. They are doing an insanely good job at that.
They got a lot of movies coming out for this quarter. I mean, they got that Jurassic Park. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's going to sell.
Yeah, I got to go get my NFT. I got to go watch both of them.
Paws of Fury.
That's one of the main reasons why I try to get the NFTs too, is because this is going to be a historical event, I think.
Absolutely. If you guys can afford to sign up for AMC stubs, 1, it's completely worth it. It is so worth it. 2, if you're not near an AMC theater and you still want to put money into the company, you can still sign up for stubs, pay your monthly membership, and then anytime you're traveling anywhere there is an AMC, you can use that there. So even if you live in a state with, I only have one AMC in New Mexico, but if I go to Texas and Michigan and Chicago, which I'm doing here in a month, I can go to any of those AMC theaters almost for free because I have my 3 free movies a week and I still get my points and everything. And then don't forget, AMC On Demand is super important too. The more that brings in for money, the more titles they can get, the more customers they can attract. If everybody just blows up AMC theaters this next 2 quarters, this thing is going to be huge. That's about all I had, man. I'm a little too excited today, so sorry about my.
No, you're fine, man.
Hey, so Spence, did I get in at a good price on HYMC? What do you think, buddy?
Oh yeah, what'd you get? Anything below $1.30 is killer.
I got $1.24.
That's perfect. That's the last time we hit that $1.25, we had that $1.90 run because they were trying to steal those $2 premiums because there was nothing below that. So next week we talked on my Hoyles method that the only call premiums worth stealing for them are at $2.50. So if we see a run next week on Hycroft, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, I pulled up the 4-hour chart and I looked, and you can clearly see that there's major support at that level. So $1.25 area.
By the end of the year, they're supposed to be full-scale commercialized operations, man. So they'll have not only the leach pads producing product, but they'll have their POX factory producing more gold and silver too. So they might start beating production levels for the past 20 quarters by Q1 2023. So I'm in long term. I'm waiting for that $10 shot. You know what I'm saying?
Spencer, I got another question for you. What's your take on Say on Pay vote? What do you think?
I didn't hear that clearly. What was it?
What's your take on Say on Pay for the proxy vote for AMC?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely not. My biggest problem with it is, A, we're not profitable yet. We're getting there, but we're not. But B, they want to give the non-employee directors a pay raise, a considerable one of over $100,000, not including their new stock options, which most of those directors, like Coke, he sells all his shares every time he gets them. And I know they're important to the company for networking and whatnot, but when we're still struggling with inflation, major inflation, the company's not profitable, and your shareholders are sitting down at $11 a share, you do not need a raise. The problem is it's a non-binding vote. It's more of what does our investors want us to do? They can still come out and approve it, even though we've all voted no, which I assume is very much a no for the entire community.
Yeah, I think it's a no. That's why I brought it up. But after the meeting last night, the earnings call, I think people might have a second thought on that, and I just wanted to see what somebody else's opinion was of it.
As soon as they return to profitability, I'll come back and I'll vote yes for that pay raise for them. Performance equals what you get paid. Fair wages for fair work. And right now, they're all millionaires. They have enough money to survive while retail is struggling and the company is not profitable. So, if they make it to my goal, to my performance mark, then I'll vote yes all day long.
Sounds fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not asking for too much. We came in for one thing mainly, and that was to get this play. And, I mean, obviously, if it starts popping off, I'd vote for anything that Adam wanted to do, not even look at it.
Well, some of them directors don't even need to be there.
Oh, yeah.
They've got 4 million retail investors backing them that have nothing but a want to help the company market properly. You don't even need to advertise as much anymore because the apes are out there just throwing AMC up everywhere. The key is finding out, like Stephen Colanero, who I called out back in November. I said, why is this guy here? He worked for freaking Radio Shack and Blockbuster, and they're dead companies now. Why would you want him on your board of directors? And they got rid of him, which was a huge surprise to me. I couldn't believe it. And I assumed, since he was Adam Aaron's number 2 guy, that he was probably the one whispering in his ear, getting the company to go downhill. So now it's a matter of, I don't see any more sinister people on the board, but it's a matter of finding out who's there that doesn't need to be there. Why do you need over 10 executives on your board?
What about Anthony?
It's just crazy, man.
What about the Anthony guy that got on the board because of
Fred, your
I didn't hear you, Miss Harris.
I was saying that you're part of the one is in here and the head is in here as well. But these guys, Biotech, Malcolm, and Frederick, have been having their hand up for a long time. But I'm telling them to hold tight until Spence gets done, and then the one get done. Just hold tight, guys. We ain't forgot about this. Hold tight. Go ahead, Spence.
I'm completely done. I thank you guys for having me.
Well, hold on. I got one more question for you, Spence. What do you think about Anthony Sayich, I think his name is, that the guy that Wanda put on the board? Wanda's gone.
Who? Anthony who?
Sayich, I think his last name is.
Yeah, Sayich.
I haven't done enough research on him to make a say on that.
I think Wanda's the one who put him on the board, and Wanda's gone.
Yeah, why would we? Wanda might have like 10,000 shares or something like that. Why would Wanda be on the board for AMC?
Well, he's one of the ones that they put on there, from what I understand.
Unless Wanda's thinking about coming in and buying them back out. Could you imagine that if Wanda tried to buy AMC back out?
Yeah, that would be interesting, but I hope not. I don't want that to happen. That's why I'm thinking of getting rid of Anthony Sayich is my point. It's the whole conversation.
There should be nobody on the board of directors that has any conflict of interest with past companies that short sellers have put in the ground. That's all I'm saying. So I'm glad they got rid of Colanero. I think we'll be profitable by Q3. I think High Cost will announce full-scale commercial operations by Q4. And I'm telling you, man, this next week, I've been screaming it. There's the chart and the patterns and the cyclic market and how bad the hedge funds are hurting. Man, it all looks so good for us. So, you guys stay strong, man. I'm going to hopefully have some money again tomorrow to buy more. Hopefully it rolls over in my Fidelity. So, don't do this. Don't do it. I took a gamble, though, and took out some money, more equity out of my house. So, if I lose, I'll just have more house payments pay off. If I win, you guys won't hear from me for like a month because I'll be down in Mexico.
Vacation is definitely needed after this ordeal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Vacation and lots of other things.
Well, you always welcome to come in the chat and talk. Whatever you want to talk about, you're always welcome anytime. You know that, so you can just pop in anytime you want. We appreciate you. The one, if you're still talking, you can continue talking. But the one has his hand up there as well. But you can continue talking if you're still talking, Stan.
I just wanted to tell Froggy, man, good work on the damn no options made. We got that trending across platforms, Twitter and Reddit. So it was super good. And the one too, man, Ape Radio really pushed it. Them guys rock. This little trifecta we got going on here is really changing things. So well done.
Glad we can always help. And don't forget, after Moaz, Ape Radio Tour, we will be in Mexico at your place, Spencer. So you can't get rid of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you guys were talking about the board of directors for what? AMC?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I know that you guys know somebody named Casey Shaw.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
His mom is running to be on that board.
Yes,
I
we
want
want
to
her
bring
on the
her
board.
on for an interview just so she can get her information out. I forgot about that.
She's going to be coming on Ape Radio also, and so we want to back somebody. That right there, I love Casey. He's a great guy, and I watched the interview that he had with his mom, and I tell you, she is extremely talented, and I think that she would be a great fit. And I'm not just saying this because I like Casey, but the background that his mom has, I think would be a perfect fit to be a liaison for the retail. Also going to direct to, everybody else. I think she would be a voice for all of us. I really do believe that. And I only promote stuff that I believe in. And that's just from what I was watching and talking with Casey and whatnot. She's got my vote. So I'm just coordinating. I know he's going to probably reach out to you also, Froggy, or I think he probably already has, to get her on, and we'll post it out So people do have some questions and whatnot, but from what I watch, man, I mean, I tell you, she's got her stuff in order, so I think she'd be a great fit.
Yeah, I spoke with her in a private chat. She's really good people, and yeah, I mean, I think she'd be good for the community with her background, you know, to get on that board. And yeah, I think we're gonna have an interview with her. I thought that's what we were planning on doing. I thought it was supposed to happen on Sunday, but we didn't end up getting it done. But yeah, her Misty is her name, I believe, and well, we'll see where that goes. But I agree with you.
But I also think if Misty don't do it, I'm going to say this. You guys just hear me out. Tony Denaro. That guy has so much experience when it comes to getting paid by shares. He used to be in the industry like that. So if she doesn't make it, we need to have Tony Denaro. Tony Denaro, he's very professional. He's very intelligent. He's very smart. He will be good for us for that company as well. So we should have as many of them should go forward just in case they turn one down. We'll have someone else. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Tony would be a good choice for a representative. I know there was a mention that he was asked to step up, but I don't know if he took that move or not. But I would definitely support him and vote for him if he was on the card.
You guys got to hear him. When you hear him talk for the one, and I'm not knocking Casey Shaw's mom. I'm not knocking that because I love Casey Shaw. He's a very humble man, and I see his mom's interview. But I'm saying, if they turn her down, we need somebody else in place. Tony Denaro is very, very. He'll fight for us. All his ideals. He can speak with them one-on-one. If they try to come with him with something, he can come back with something. He's intelligent like that. He's the man. I'm gonna say as far as that goes, as far as us having someone else on the board. I think that Froggy knows a lot of stuff when it comes to certain things on the board. So I think if we get somebody in there, they can use Froggy, Spin, all y'all. We need more help in there. That's what I'm saying. So we need someone like that. Ms. Shaw, Tony Denaro, someone said that.
So I recommended the one. And I don't know if he was interested or not, but I did throw his name out there as well, that I would support the one if he was interested, because he's well-spoken and I think he could do a good job as well. So that's on you, the one. But I had said that on a couple of shows.
Even if we can get one person in there to represent the community, it'd be awesome.
Well, I have a different path, as we all know. Who knows where that path?
That shouldn't matter. Matter. It's based on how you will go in there and fight for it. I don't care what the person's past is. You know, God can change all things, and will change all things. It's based on how you're going to go in there and fight for us. That's what matters. Who cares about the past?
Well, Tony, let me ask you a straight-up question, all right? Is he on right now?
No, he's not.
Is Tony?
No.
Okay. See, so here's the question that I have. He's going to be doing the Discord with you guys, correct? Does he have a pay for a Discord? And the only thing I'm saying is that if you're talking about a conflict of interest, that becomes a conflict of interest. It does. So if Tony wants to do this and he's serious about doing that, he needs to drop his Discord and start focusing on that. Because if you have somebody that's on the board of directors and that's charging for a Discord and giving out stock prices and stuff like that, or has a group that's associated with it, you'll be a prime target for any bullseye on your back with AMC. That's my opinion.
Tony never gives out price. Tony's not that kind. He doesn't give out price. He gives out.
Just charge for Discord.
I don't know. You have to ask him. I don't
know. He has a Discord and he's charging for it and he's doing stock prices and all that stuff. That will become a conflict of interest. It will. Somebody will make it a conflict of interest. I guarantee you. Just my.
I'm pretty sure that if he was going on or going to go up for the board, he'd probably make everything right, because he even knows that his shares would have to be transferred to somebody else, because he wouldn't be able to have the same controls over him, so he might not be able to get on the squeeze. So he probably is well aware of that kind of stuff, that things would have to change.
Right, because I'm just looking at it like this. If we're going to be able to get somebody in there that's going to represent us, I don't want anything to tarnish what they could possibly do for us. They're our voice. And I don't need Charles Gasparino or any of the, the short sellers that are in this room right now trying to paint something bad on him, if you catch my drift.
And two more people I'd like to suggest if they would run, Boss Blunts and definitely Pantheon. I think they're also two very passionate people that are pretty intelligent. So, I mean, we have a good group in this community. And like I said, if we can get one in there and then come back and sit down at a round table with a group of us, I think we could really change the world on this stock. But we might not even have to. I mean, the next two earnings are going to be amazing anyways. This play might be over going into the next two earnings, and we won't even need to make the changes. So, I mean, but you always want to plan for the worst and try to do your best until you get to that point.
Yeah, and I agree. Pantheon is a great choice as well. I also recommended him, and Boss Blunts. But would Boss Blunts really want to do it? I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I threw it out there being funny one time because he's a funny guy and I like him, but I'm not sure he'd really be interested. Pantheon, I think, would be, but I don't know for certain.
Hedge, floor is yours, man.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good, man.
Cat Striker, if you're listening to me, you got my vote. If you're going to run.
She's awesome, too.
So, she is awesome. And she has my vote, 100%.
That'd be another one I'd vote for, too. She works her butt off, very passionate about this play, so that's hard to deny.
I love that woman. She's done a lot for the community. We're gonna throw a party just for her when this is over.
Oh, she deserves it. She's the one, the airplane with all the messages that go out and stuff that you might have seen pictures of. It's freaking awesome.
Did you see the one? She's got a laser thing now. Did you see that she put it on the side of a mountain?
No, do you have pictures?
I'll find a video and I'll DM it to you.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, and she does all this.
It's a scrolling laser message that you can read day or night, and it's big. I think it's huge. The machine, I know Robert, I don't know if he's in here, but he was going to pick one up, but he was just waiting for Kat to talk to her about like how to set some stuff up. But I mean, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. A couple grand for this thing. But you can put like any message in there and you have it, and it went like she showed it, going right across at nighttime, man. And I mean, this thing was nice.
Across the whole mountain, the whole side of the mountain.
Didn't she do it underneath the Hollywood sign? Is that where it was?
No. They just took a drive out to try it, right?
Oh, okay, right. That's what. Okay.
Yeah, but it came out really nice. I'll find it for you, Froggy.
Yeah,
someone said the Lion Trader. He's good too. The Lion Trader will be a good one too. But I think my hands down will be Tony Denaro first, because I know he's gonna fight for us. I'm not knocking Casey Styles monster. Don't nobody go back and say I knocked her. I'm saying Tony has background. It's totally been being paid with shares, so he knows how this stuff works. He'll go in there and fight with that popcorn corn or whatever that thing is. But the Lion Trader, he's good too. Someone in the chat just said the Lion Trader, and he's really good.
Well, like I was saying, we only need one person to represent the community, because they can come back to the community and discuss with us directly like what needs to be done. And that's when like everybody could sit down at the table, put their input in. Even Adam Aaron admitted during that earnings call that they've already got like 1,000 ideas, which I can't remember who it was over in the community, but there was a guy over there that was collecting them.
Eric Stanley.
So,
Eric, yeah.
So that's where the ideas were coming from. He was collecting them all and hand delivering them, which is amazing.
We need a backup plan, because you know sometimes, and I'm not knocking you men, so don't think I'm doing that, but sometimes men think women can't compete with them. They're like, you know how y'all are. So I'm just saying we need a backup just in case Miss Shaw don't make it. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we're moving in the right direction. I mean, like I said, if we get one on the board and we can link the community up, I think it's going to be amazing because then we can get all the ideas kind of funneled in there quicker, and having one on the board can actually kind of persuade the group. That's all it takes. Because right now we don't have direct access to anybody on the board. If you look at it, I think it was Apollo, Adam Aaron's previous partner or whoever it was, when they gave him that loan, they wanted one person on the board, and that's so they can have direct access to basically influencing the company. And that's what we need, is direct access to influencing the company. And that's all it takes, is one person on the board. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before we get there. I mean, everything's playing out really well. I mean, we got amazing quarters coming up, great movies coming up. I mean, I hate to say it, but I never thought I'd see these numbers again price-wise, but I'm kind of excited to the fact that I can buy more right now and just keep loading up. So I'm getting more shares now per week than I was before. And I know it's got to be close to the end. It wouldn't make any sense why we'd be back down here with 4 million investors and everybody buying and holding. I mean, it makes no sense if we come back anywhere near $10. But they're playing games, and it's obvious, but they'll pay the price too. They tried to bankrupt us, instead we bankrupted them. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, and just remember, they keep listening in on our calls. They're here now.
That's
fine.
And
they take our pictures, and then they make little collages of all of us, which I think takes a lot of time to do, and I'm actually flattered. And then they take the video, and then they post it up to YouTube on their YouTube channel that a couple of them have.
What?
So,
anybody remember that saying that Conor McGregor has? They might not like it, but they'll be forced to accept it. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Exactly. You know, look at it like this. If they, you know, for some people that, you know, if you say, okay, well, fine, you're going to bottom out, you guys are screwed, you think that they would stop caring after a year or year and a half? Like, if it wasn't such a big thing, that they would stop pushing so hard. They would stop following us around, stop taking our pictures, stop making videos of us, stop making all the nonsense. But yet they keep doing it every day. And you notice there's really not too many of us that are actually going out and calling them out, yet they have the opportunity to come to do it to us. So, Ben, to you, my brother, thank you so much. By your conviction to come after us makes me feel that much more better. And I promise I'll buy you a beer, because I know you're probably short of the company, and you won't have more than 2 cents in your pocket. So I'll buy you a steak and a beer. Probably be the last one you'll ever eat. Idiot.
I love it.
Wait, I'll ask you a question, Jeremy. Go ahead, biotech.
Yep.
Hey, so I just wanted to make a comment about Highcroft, and I hope this hasn't been covered before. I apologize if it has. One thing I noticed on the quarterly report that I think might be somewhat behind the share response and why it didn't pop is, it turned out, so there is a legal definition between resources and reserves. Has this been talked about before?
Spence still here?
Sorry, what?
Spence? I think Spence might have left. Spence is really up to date on that company when it comes to like the terms and stuff like that. But what were you saying about the difference between resource and reserve?
Okay, so this is something, anytime they do a filing, and this is like a quick sheet for anybody in here, search for the word reserve, because as soon as they switch over any metal in the ground from a resource to a reserve, it means they are legally stating it is going to be economically profitable to mine it. Whereas resource just means the amount of gold or silver in the ground. That was something that I think is important to know, and it'll give everyone like a really quick way to look through filings quickly. Is that reserve word is super important.
Well, I didn't know that, and I appreciate it.
That's helpful.
No, I know that when the price of metal goes up, they can actually borrow against whatever they think is in the ground. I think that's how that works. It has an actual asset value, so they can borrow against it if they ever needed it to. Now, you might be right about the reserve thing. I'm not sure how they got it worded. That does kind of make sense that might be the way that they do it.
Yeah, I looked on. So 10Q is what they just filed for the quarterly report, but the 10K was their last year's report. And under their, I think their legal disclosures, they actually laid this out. That's actually how I found out about this, is that they do say like the difference between a resource and a reserve is resources are material within the ground, and reserve is what they can make money on right now, today. And obviously every filing is backwards looking. So if they said they had $1 billion worth of reserves, that means like as of a couple months ago, they have figured out the way to make money on $1 billion worth of gold right now. Whereas resources means they've found $1 billion worth of gold, but they still have to figure out the mining and the processing and stuff like that. So anyways, I just thought that was interesting and potentially helpful for people.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I guess. Have a great one.
Buddy.
Yep,
You too, buddy.
Who we got there? Is it called the Mark of the Beast? I know he had a request on there too. I want to make sure I get him. Floor is yours, man. I'm not sure if he's still there or not. I'll give him a second to come back. I do got a bunch of questions to cover.
I haven't been able to really keep up, to be honest.
What is going on, everybody? Man, it is a great day for a great day. I was just sitting back and just getting more excited. I mean, we've been invested in these plays for well over a year, and just sitting back and listening to the conviction, and it just gets me more excited. And as these prices drop and these fire discounts are here, I don't sense any or see any type of panic. I mean, if anything, our convictions are only getting stronger, and we still know, like, look what's happening. These hedge funds have been bleeding. Look what happened with Melvin Capital. I mean, this is for them over leveraging their short positions, through illicit dark pool abuse, but it still doesn't deter us from our objective. We're still here together, and all these short sellers and these hedge funds and big institutions, all they essentially did was give us more time to band together, to collectively use our mindsets to, gain the different type of knowledge that we've never had, prior to this last year. And again, the conviction only gets stronger from here. I mean, when I see these prices drop, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, with Bitcoin, I've been invested with Bitcoin since my son was almost 2 years old, and he's almost 14 now. Then I bought Bitcoin back in 2017. And just recently, I just moved over the last week and a half, moved to a new place. I wanted to make sure that I satisfied the family instead of just piling all my money into AMC and GME without, family like, hey, well, what's going on, Dad? What's going on here? So, I will say that I sold off most of my Bitcoin to buy more back, buy even more with AMC and GME. And this just makes me more convicted because, I mean, I've been calling it with the market. If you look at what happened last year when, we look at what mid-April, Bitcoin hit its all-time high, right? And then it came all the way down through the run-up of AMC. Through the whole run-up to, May 25th, AMC shares were like $16.41, right? A week later, we see them on June 1st. They were at 32.05, and then June 2nd, AMC hit its all-time high, 72.62. Are you kidding me? If we did not sell then, why in the fuck would we sell now? Like, why would we sell now? Makes zero sense. So I'm just super jacked, super excited to still be here with each and every one of you guys. I love bringing that positivity and motivation. The FUD doesn't do anything. That fear, that uncertainty and doubt does nothing. I mean, it literally only wants us to buy, make us that sense to buy more. I mean, like I say, my spidey senses are tingling. I'll tell you guys, like, we're going to see this thing through, because we definitely will. We have each other, so let's keep doing what we're doing, guys.
You're 100% right. We didn't come this far just to come this far. Like, let's finish the job, get paid, and be successful off of it. And that's just it.
Thanks for coming up and speaking, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, good speech, man. I definitely appreciate you coming up and speaking.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, come on now. Have you ever heard anybody try to talk you out of your play? I mean, bees don't waste their time explaining to flies why honey's better than shit. I mean, I would say a truth doesn't mind being questioned. Lies don't like being challenged. They really don't. Lies hate to be challenged. And I've never seen the amount of FUD and the amount, even with that lady, I forget her name, trying to say retail's responsible for this downturn in the markets, and retail's no, it's these over leveraged hedge funds that have been short selling the securities of these stocks. And you know what? Their hearts were in the wrong place. Their intentions were bad. Their hidden agendas got exposed, and we didn't panic. We organized and came together, and this is what it's about.
We didn't organize. We just traded information
for everybody. I mean, that's what it's about. We're putting our hard-earned money, and we expect not just Gary Gensler, but the SEC to hold themselves accountable and provide that fair and transparent market for everyone. So that way, when we do put money into the market, we know that we're putting into it with certainty that it's a transparent market for all, instead of this illicit dark pool abuse that goes on. So keep doing what we're doing. We got this.
I agree 100%.
I agree with you, but we didn't organize. We just pass information along to each other. That is not a true statement about organizing. I don't organize with nobody. I do my own DD and whatever, and I share it with people that I like, you know.
Oh, he's all worried about that collusion thing. I call it a community, and I can care less what the SEC thinks about anything. If they haven't done nothing about manipulation, they shouldn't be talking to me about a community. So they get 2 middle fingers for all the work that they've done.
No, I agree with you. I just, protecting myself for when the time comes. I said it. I said what I said.
He's absolutely right. But you know what? You're also right, Froggy. They can do what they can do and get away with it, and we can't. Like, we all found each other. That's what it is. We all found each other. We don't know each other. So we have become a family.
Pretty much.
So there is no collusion. We just found each other.
Exactly.
We're going to get rich together, and that's what they're mad about.
Yes, we are.
I think they're jealous. They could have bought the shares, but then they couldn't have kept them and then made money off of it. All they can do is, salvage some of their losses. Mistakes were made, and they got caught. But they've been doing this for such a long time. Nobody ever paid attention to the short market the way that what happened. So it's bound and determined that they got caught with a new strategy, which is what we should have been doing the whole time. Instead of day trading, buy and hold. I mean, you see what happened with Tesla. Buy and hold, squeezed them. And many other little stocks. Now we just took 2 big ones that they have large short positions in, and they tried to destroy the companies, and they failed. So it's going to be very interesting.
I think that
did they fix anything from 2008?
Nothing.
Exactly.
What happened in 2008? What happened in 2008 when you guys remember what happened in 2008, right? In 2008, well, not just that, but I'm saying most recently with 2008, what we've seen that with the markets, with the whole crisis goes on. What happened with Volkswagen? You remember what happened with Volkswagen, right? Same thing's going to happen this time with our stocks, with our securities.
I agree.
So I just want to say this, right? They want to say, free and fair market, but I hope a few things come out of this in the end, right? That number one, if it's a free and fair market, we have a right to know what their short position is. This bull crap of hiding it behind the scenes and all that is straight up bull crap, right? So we got it. We figured out information and we used it against them. That should have been public knowledge to begin with. There should be no delay in any kind of information that we're getting. Why are we 2 weeks to a month out on information all the time? It's straight up bull crap. So
Plus, they need to change it too. If they have to use that money printer to go and bail one of them out, they should be getting thrown in jail for it. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to just turn the money printer on and say, go try again. Like, it should be, poof, you're gone. Because, I mean, that money comes, it's diluting the taxpayers' money, and they're putting other people's money at risk. They need to fix all that stuff, or this could happen again and again and again.
Well, I think it's going to happen, and that's why they should make it a free and transparent market, right, for all, not for just for the 1%, for everybody. That's all. You know what I mean? In the end, if they don't, I'll look for more plays like this, and I think that the majority of you should as well. If they're not going to change the rules to fix the problem, then we just keep attacking it.
Keep squeezing them. Squeeze them until they can't afford to play no more.
Right.
And we see they have zero liquidity in the market. There's no liquidity. They're running scared, trying to find liquidity in the market. They can't. I'm just telling you guys, we are a credible sense of authority. Like we really are. Like this is our time, you guys, and we're going to change it together. We are a powerful force, you know, with an incredible sense of authority. And I'm telling you, this is what should have been taught to us, but it never got taught in school. You know, we get to teach this to our children. Our children are watching. All of us invest, and we get to teach them how to have financial freedom. And we're doing it just like this. I mean, our voices, we're making them hear us. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's not even if, it's when.
I'm sorry, since the guy is gone now, that one of the questions with so Froggy can probably tell you what the guy was asking. I had got a hold of Spence and told him to come back in because the guy was wanted to talk about APESVSWALLSTREET. So Froggy, you could probably fill in Spence on what the guy was asking.
It was something to do about reserves versus resources, and whether it was resources in the ground or reserves. And I guess he was saying that has something to do with one's profitable and pulled out. I can't remember exactly, but are those resources that are in the ground or reserves?
What was his name?
I wish I knew.
It's a familiar question that somebody came in and tried to challenge us on. Whatever definition you're using to prove your point doesn't really matter. The fact is that Hycroft has billions of dollars of gold and silver in the ground. We know that. That's a fact. Now, what grades are good enough to be profitable, that's probably where the difference is between reserves and whatever else he was saying. Any gold above 1.5 grams per ton of ore is profitable. It's considered good enough grade to mine. And then anything over 4 to 5 in an open pit is considered high grade. Anything over, I think, 150, maybe less of silver is really high grade. Hycroft has samples showing over 6,000 grams per ton on certain holes for silver. That's like bonanza grade. So I don't know if he was trying to argue that Hycroft doesn't have any. Was he trying to argue that Hycroft doesn't have mineable resources that
no,
are?
he was.
Or what was the argument?
No, he wasn't arguing at all. He was just saying that in the earnings filings to look for reserve versus I forgot the other word. Resources
versus reserve.
Yeah. That's all he was saying. Like the way it's written in the earnings, one means it's out of the ground, the other means it's still in the ground. He was saying.
Yeah, since he didn't seem like he was like it didn't seem like he came up to spread any FUD. He was just saying the difference between reserve and resource. Just look for the lingo that basically was more positive as far as reserve goes than resource.
Exactly.
I was just trying to get the context of the conversation, but yeah, the difference in terminology probably has something to do with the grade, the mineable grade, because you can have reserves that have cash value, and you can have resources that are untapped that you don't know have good enough cash value to profit. But from what I'm seeing from the drilling, the assays that they're sending in, which they're still waiting on over 40% of their assays to come back from the lab.
How much lithium is there, Spence?
What they are finding is higher and higher grade reserves every time they do it. And I'm telling you, the one in the vortex zone, I forgot what hole it is, but 6,200 grams per ton of ore. That is a crystalline, completely mineralized deposit that they have found. So when they start mining that, and my theory is these stocks, these blue chips are going to go into the dirt pretty soon when AMC, GME, Highcroft, all the meme stocks start pumping. They're already in the dirt. They're going to go in the dirt even further to go back to the post-pandemic crash levels or the pre-pandemic high.
Yep.
And what's going to happen is the hedge funds ain't going to have any liquidity, and gold and silver is going to go through the roof. So,
how much lithium's in that mine, Spence? Do you know? I'm asking for myself. I'm just curious.
I think lithium's a process.
Spence, I want to ask you something, because you know pretty much everything about Highcroft. Okay, now first of all, how much of that land have they discovered all this silver and gold, and how much land do they still have to search for more?
So they're only operating 2% of the 71,000 acres they have, but they haven't found all the silver and gold on that 2% because Allied Nevada back in the 2016 days wasn't looking for silver or visible gold. They were only looking for cyanide soluble gold because they were only doing heap leaching. So that's why they're going to reclassify a bunch of the waste, the mined waste. They're going to reclassify it as ore and run it through the POX process.
Interesting.
The key is the market falling further back to pre-pandemic highs, which I think it's going to do. The government's out of control. The Fed has no clue what it's doing, and Gensler's a fool. When it does, the banks that have hoarded gold and silver are going to lift their finger off the scale, and gold and silver is going to go through the roof. And with the new EV push and the semiconductor push, silver demand is going to skyrocket. So the price is naturally going to go up with it.
I agree.
Okay, I thought I had to come in and pick a fight with somebody, so I'm going to bounce. I'm actually headed over to see Multiverse of Madness in 3D because I have a theory. Adam Aaron said Doctor Strange 4 times because you can see 4 different formats of Doctor Strange in theater, and I think they might be different cuts. So I'm going to go check it out.
Sweet. Let us know.
Interesting.
Yeah, let us know, Spence. Thanks, buddy.
I'm really going for the Nuggets, but I'll see you guys later, man.
Later, Spence. I'm going to get out here, too. Have a good one, Spence. You guys all have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later.
Later, Mark.
Yeah, this time I just want you to come in and shoot the guy. Oh, no. I just want you to come in and shoot the guy with saying you're an expert on APESVSWALLSTREET, so need you to come in and see what you're saying about what was in the ground, what wasn't in the ground, what to look at, what not to look at. I don't know. It's all good.
Miss Diva, I have a question.
Yes.
I'd like to forego my Ape Radio thing for tonight and pass it on to my friend that's down there, Zay. I posted something up there to the top since we all help each other out. Him and his friend do a great podcast. It's Zay, XAY. Yeah, XAY. And I posted this thing up to the top. They do like a sports podcast every week.
Oh.
The Dog Check Pound. And they do like local like Cleveland stuff, but they do also go to, they do mention a couple of the big things. But the reason I like it so much is because it's kind of like Ape Radio just with sports. The chemistry that the both of the guys got, it's for 1 hour. They've got other podcasts. Just check it out. You like it, tweet it out. And like I said, I only support those that I know that are good for the community and those that I believe in. So Zay is a great guy. And then his friend are doing like a really good thing, Corey, I believe. So, check it out if you get the minute and spread the love around. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
He also knows the President, Obama.
He does. And, yes, Mr. Obama does come on Ape Radio once in a while. We're always pleased to have.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. But I've seen you guys do another president you guys have. It's funny though. I like it. It's funny. Like it. When you guys go do the again? We need to end the Family Feud. I like that to come back.
Friday night. We worked out all the kinks. We have all the good stuff going. We know what we're going to do for Friday night. That's game night. So. Okay.
Ted, I'm on the team, right? Ted, it's me and you again. I'm on the team, right, Ted?
Of course. You stop bouncing out.
No, you guys use your F word too. Ooh, that's F word.
Right. We'll keep the link. We try. Oh, okay. Stays on Saturday nights for 1 hour. Check him out, guys. He's, like I said, it's really worth it. And I appreciate it. I got to go take my kids to track right now.
And make sure you tell the people on A Radio to come on. I know you do anyway. Froggy is on at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I do know you do tell people that. Appreciate it. But Mediocre Trader's on too. He don't have he ain't give us the correct times yet, but when he give us that, I'll let you guys know.
Thank you. All right, Hedgie, I'll see you later tonight. Steve, if you come in, Froggy. All right, bro. See you a little later. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Everybody have a great night.
Later, guys.
I want to go through a couple of these comments here. I got a whole bunch of them built up here. Dana Young says here, pressure creates diamonds. Yeah, diamonds are created under pressure. That's true. That's what we're waiting on. Got a whole bunch of questions here. Or not questions, but comments at least. Rob, he's our fellow option trader, and he says, I hate to say this, but I've been in this thing for 16 months, and I'm still in the green, which it's pretty tough to still be green. I mean, I bought in originally at 10, and I'm just now turning red. So I kind of, he must have been in real early.
I'm still green as well, but it's getting close. I'm not worried about it, though.
Corey Redder says he's betting his wife. Yeah, I'm selling my sell button for now. XX says I'm on here every day. How do I become a member? Miss Harris, do you want to put a link? It is pinned up against the top of chat there to become a member. Richard says, if hedge funds run out of money, doesn't insurance cover it? That's what I'm thinking, but I wonder who covers for the brokers. Corey Ryder says, yes, 67 trillion for all banks shorts and stuff then goes up to the feds in between the SEC and the regulators' insurances. So I'm kind of curious. I do want to look into that 60-some trillion dollar insurance thing to make sure that it's true and see how it applies to our situation. Because I'd love to count it in, because if I could count it in, our number could go up like probably 5 times higher. But it would make 10,000 seem like an easy play. Gummy says there's many stocks, even gold and silver, are being shorted to an oblivion. Yeah, that's why I'm eyeballing that silver physical squeeze afterwards. I'll have more than enough money to stock up on it. What's the worst that happens? The financial system goes to, crashes and you go back to gold and silver. So buying silver would probably make it squeeze anyways. Ian Card says, imagine the average shareholder and what happened when they see $1 million in their account. that will probably be their floor. Yeah, I can see people panicking at 1 million. Hopefully that's not the case. They hold to their plan. That's why you make your plan now on what you'll probably accept and stuff like that, so you don't get into that panic stage. You'll see yourself through, but we won't know what the numbers are really going to turn out to be until we get into that process. So it is tough to make a plan, but cutting yourself short at just $1 million, you got to keep in mind, if you're short term, you got to pay capital gains tax, and they take like 40% or something away. It's ridiculous. So, but either which way, it's still good money. Richard says, if they F us, I guess Wall Street will be in flames. Yeah, no one's going to ever trust the market ever again. Sub has the boss. My brackets are 20% at 2,500, 20% at 3,500, 20% at 5,000, and 40% at 100,000. I would love to see 100,000, to be honest. I don't know if it's going to get there or not, but I'm keeping my my mind open for it. Highway Frog says, do you think that ISTA banks will be trustworthy in the squeeze? Definitely not. That's why Bigums was talking about getting out of ISTA banks. You can't trust them. They take your money and it disappears instantly, and somebody's got it. So they're definitely part of the problem. BIOR thoughts? Let me pull that one up here. That was PROG. I remember right? Yep, that was PROG. Possibly double bottom. Not exactly sure if that's exactly what's going on here. Just basically waiting to see if this is the bottom, and then you can bounce and possibly move higher. But it is cheap right now, that's for sure. Never thought I'd see it come back down that low. So it's still a squeeze play. You can see it down here. The money's in the negative. So holding it for longer term, I think, would probably be a better play. It does suck that it's under $1, but it'll get up there. There's a reason why they changed their name. I got to figure out that all earnings is coming in too. They got revenue. Estimate was 0, so they crushed revenue. They surprised on earnings. Both look positive. It should move up, you would think. I didn't get to check and see what AMC is doing in the after hours.
Nothing. I've been watching it.
Yeah, they won't let it move.
It ain't doing diddly squat sitting there.
Rambo 3 says, if I'm a subscriber, is that considered a member? No. Members where you have to click on that link up above in chat, and that's what a member is. A subscriber, like that's all. Most of my videos are all subscriber only, but when the squeeze hits, the members only is just so we can clear the air. Because right now I'm going to be struggling for the next 20 minutes getting caught up on chats. And like I said, when the squeeze gets here, I'm pretty sure it's going to be worse because there's not too many people doing technical analysis during that time. It's a lot of people just kind of poking and hoping they can figure out where things are going. You'll need technical analysis for the squeeze, that's for sure. DD will be important too. You never know what other information will come out, but the TA will probably run that squeeze. H vs Wall Street says, you think they are trying to make us move again? I've heard they're already trying to talk us into leaving Fidelity, which is insanely crazy. So, but once I heard that they were trying to get us to go from one to the next, I was like, that's what they're doing, is they're trying to spread around all the pain to where they can, because right now we're just a great big pin poking that bubble, and they didn't want us to pop the bubble, so they were like, hurry up, get out of Robinhood and Webull, go somewhere else, and that's what we did, and then it bought them more time. Just keep pushing that pin. Somebody will pop. Richard says, trust the plan. That's exactly it. Will we squeeze this year? I'm actually counting on it coming sooner than later, but worst case scenario by Christmas, but I think it's going to happen probably anywhere from July to Christmas. These next 2 quarters are going to be amazing for us. And there's too many things coming in line. You got phase 5 and phase 6 of the CAT system. Phase 5 is July 11th. Phase 6 is September 9th. Both of those are going to be very bad for the hedge funds and the market maker. So I know Bigums is covering information on that. We were supposed to actually do a phase 5 video covering what Bigums has out there now. And we probably should get on that video. Gummy said that FOMO will be kicking in at 30. I'm pretty sure once we break out of that wedge, 30 will definitely be a FOMO piece. So pain will come shortly after. Brenda Queen of Swords says FUD is not an issue anymore. We are immune to it. Yeah, I think everybody's numb to the media. Anything that they put out that is pretty much garbage and we know it, we don't even get upset about it. We just kind of like, it's the media. And then we just keep buying more on the dip. So they got us trained at this point to where, like, they could tell us the truth and we still wouldn't believe what the media said. So their credibility is pretty much less than zero. Chris says they canceled orders on IEX. It took multiple attempts. I think he's talking about Fidelity when we were talking about that. That's how far behind I am. Yeah, I heard about that from other people. Billy Ray Valentine says they canceled my order yesterday. So that definitely sucks. That means they're still pulling shenanigans. And that's Fidelity. Gummy says Bitcoin has been tanking hard lately. I mean, they got to get the money from somewhere to cover. So I'm not sure if they're taking the money to manipulate more or if they're just loading up. But eventually, that reverse repo is going to unravel. When that unravels and the Fed starts taking money back and everything comes in, ooh, it's going to be a hurt piece. Huge. Highway Frog says, I love the direction we're heading, but keep in mind, fuel, inflation, food shortages is a possible reality. Protect yourselves. It could get ugly. Yeah, definitely stock up on food. Inflation, I mean, it's going to obviously get worse after the squeeze. Can you imagine all of us retail actually having money, like lots of money? They're going to try to charge us extra for everything. So fuel, hopefully it's still around. Dana says, after watching the Super Stevens video, I went back and changed my vote. I do want to write that down to make sure I do check it. Super Stevens is a pretty smart guy, does good videos too, so I will definitely be watching that video. Dana says, I was a yes to AA and EY and no to the rest of the members and the compensation. That's pretty much about where I was at. I was actually still giving Adam Aaron the nod, and the rest of them. I do kind of like that Hawk Kosh because he's got a good reputation. I'm not sure if he's got a shady side to him or not, but the rest of them, they're all questionable for me. But like Adam Aaron, I mean, he's already got this much time invested. There's no reason to vote against him at this point. And I think I like the idea of he's waiting for that time to pounce. Like, I want to see it.
I'm just glad we're going to rock the boat with him, let him know.
Yeah, it's nice that we got the opportunity to vote to make a difference. Brenda Queen of Swords says, CSI and I are trying to meet all of you after the MOAS right from your living room and other spot. Sign up for town hall. We'll keep you posted on our travels. It would be nice to meet everybody after the squeeze. That would be for sure. At least we should keep the community together and stay in touch.
I'll be down in Florida on a boat. You guys can come down there anytime you want.
He'll probably be drunk and think he's on a boat.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
Hayden says, when we get dividends, they'll get raises, period. I'm a very pro dividends person. I think it would have made a big difference on stuff. But at this point, I think the play it's set up so sound right now that I think it's going to happen no matter what. I think we probably don't even need the dividend. I think it's still going to explode. So I wish the dividend would have popped up last year and we could have ended this a long time ago. But, I mean, gave me time to load up on more shares.
I'll probably be in one of those Caribbean countries. I forget which one it is with the monkeys who drink the alcohol. Be getting drunk with them. The primates stick together, man.
Right? Dana says we're changing the world and we're going to set new rules. Yeah, we did change the market already enough, and I'm pretty sure more rules will change, so this won't be allowed to happen again. So this will probably be the last time. You would hope that a squeeze like this is ever possible. If not, I'll be trying to play the next one. Mark Jones says TSP May 16th to June 7th. I didn't know it was open during that time frame, so I guess I thought it ended on the 16th. So apparently after June 7th is when I'll be looking to, once they lock in all those retirement accounts, after June 7th is when I'll be expecting from there till next earnings is when I'll be expecting the squeeze to possibly happen. I'll be eyeballing those dates. Hayden says Mama Shaw is very qualified too. She's a veteran and an organizer and very well spoken. Her interview with Casey Shaw, or per her interview with Casey Shaw, but it needs to be done. Yeah, I should reach out to him tonight and try to see if we can line that up. Because Sunday we got distracted with Mother's Day and Sunday and everything else that popped up on that day. Let me get the rest of these comments pulled in here, and then we can wrap things up. Apparently one of the people that were on here was turned up too high. I'm not sure who it was, but I'll have to pay attention to it because I did turn my line output volume up 50%. So that means I'll have to turn down my speaker for whoever's talking on Space Call down a little bit too. So I'll have to try to remember that. I turn the volume up over here because if you're on a headset or you get earbuds in, I want to make sure the volume is loud enough so you can actually turn it down a little bit, as long as it's not distorting. Because when I'm at work, I listen on a headset, and some people don't turn their volume up past halfway, and it sucks because a phone can only go up so high. So I make sure I amp it on this side so you can hear it with earbuds or headphones.
All right, gotta give a shout out to the new baby, RJ. Uncle Mellow Doug. Great Uncle Mellow Doug's.
Hey, there's a combination right there. Gummy says boss for president and Bigums for VP. At least then you'd know you got someone getting something done.
Yeah.
Those guys don't play around over there. Somebody suggested Ape Father as being someone on the board. Ooh, that would be a rough one. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being on the board myself either. Inkheart says Froggy would be good for the board. No, I didn't sign up for it. I know it was suggested that Tony was going to get signed up for it. I don't know if he did or not, but I think I'd probably be too rough on the board. I'd be questioning everything that they were doing. What are you doing? Why is that? I got to explain this to people. What are you doing? It's got to make some sense. They'd probably kick me off the board after the first day.
I don't think you can talk to us. If you get on the board, I don't think you're allowed to talk to the shareholders. I think that's Adam Aaron's job. I think all you can do is have our back and make sure they're not screwing us over, really. I don't know for certain. I'm just speculating.
All right, there we go. If anybody knows this joke, Maddie says mega pints for all. That's the Johnny Depp thing, the mega pint. Talk about a crazy trial, the Johnny Depp trial. Sometimes I wonder if that's even real.
Does his girl there remind you of your ex or what?
No, you got two actors on in a trial, and I'm like, are they acting or are they serious? Like this, I've never heard of anything so ridiculous before. Like she did what to your bed? Oh, you're kidding. I think I got most of them here.
It was the dog, Froggy. It was the
She
dog.
did say that. She actually tried to blame it on the dog. I can't believe there was somebody on Facebook that acted out the same thing where he told his woman to go to sleep or whatever, and she hopped up on the bed, and I was like, oh my god, these people are already horrible copycats.
I didn't watch a drop of that trial. I only heard.
Oh, you just got to type in like the funniest moments, and there's so much stuff. Part of me just wants to think that there's no way this is real. And then again, after seeing the stock market, I can't believe that's real either.
Yeah, right. Some people in this world think it's normal, though.
What, the stock market? No, the market kind of got exposed this year. Well, last year, actually.
River Driver says, get rich or die buying. I hear you, man.
That's pretty much my saying. That's all I do is buy, and I'm just kind of hoping I'm 100% right. Because if they let it go the way it's supposed to go, we'll get paid. But if they continue, like if there's some sort of loophole that we don't know about where they can just like, nope, then, which I don't think that's possible. I think it has to play out. All they can do is delay
it. Highway Frog says he's lucky he only got a finger cut off. Lorena Bobbitt. I had to throw that part in there.
I forgot about her. God, that's even worse.
I had to throw that in there. How much of his finger got cut off?
I'm not sure. It looked like he had his whole finger there. It was supposedly just a tip or something, but I think that's pretty much all of it there. It would be nice if a couple of them hedgies get arrested. Dana says, I hear Gitmo's nice this time of year. It would be nice that all the hedgies and the market makers that have done all this corruption finally see jail time. But who knows? So I'm going to wrap things up here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you guys get a chance. And if you guys do want to become a member, that does help me out too. I'm going to let Miss Harris go ahead and wrap things up over there.
Want to in the chat, please hit that like button. Jump over to Mediocre Trader's channel, hit the like and subscribe as well. Then hop back over to Froggy's channel, hit the like and subscribe as well. I want to give thanks to all Froggy's partners, APESVSWALLSTREET, which is the Hedge, Viper, Jordan, and the one and Lady Kate. We appreciate y'all. We also want to give a shout out to CENN. He's also a partner. Jen and Sugar Cushions with the Terrible. We want to give a shout out to them as well. We appreciate them. Jay Portuguese, thank you for holding down Mediocre Trader's channel. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate you. So everyone that's in the chat, listen, I know I ain't got that much time, but I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. Probably don't even know about this. I'm serious. I'm going to tell y'all though. Okay, me and PJ wanted to see how much Froggy really did know. This is real talk, seriously. I promise you it's real talk. So we was asking Froggy about, I'm telling the truth now, we was asking Froggy about prices as far as AMC went. This is way back then. This man was on target with every single one of them. He took that money indicator. Well, you didn't even know me and PJ was putting you through a test. We did it for 7 days straight. We did it for 1 week, and then we did the next following week to see if he was going to give us the correct prices. He gave us the correct prices with that money indicator. Why I'm saying this, guys, is because you need to become a member. I'm serious. If you want to know those price targets, you need to become a member. And we also say, if you out there, a mod, you need to be a member. You have to be a member if you want to Me and PJ Black gonna let you do mine anymore. You have to show your appreciation. And it's only $4.99 a month. So Froggy wants to go be a full-time YouTuber, full-time. So show your appreciation for him coming on here every single day, giving us the information that we need, those prices. I'm telling you guys, you're going to need it. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. 8 versus Wall Street. That guy comes on early in the morning. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. He ain't get scheduled yet. He will let you go in there to do your price target. He'll get price target. He gives some information. But he allows you to talk about Froggystyles and the Mediocre Trader. Mediocre Trader's going to be doing some streams as well. I don't know what time he's going to be doing them. But everybody become a member. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. That's my son would say. Dubs up. Everybody dubs up. We out. It's on you, Froggy.
Yeah, I want to do a shout out. I got a whole list of shout outs I want to do today. Apes vs. Wall Street, he was here for a little bit. I'm not sure if he's still here. Definitely go check him out. Brenda and CSI, or Common Sense Investor. Brenda was here. I didn't see CSI, but they do work together. They do good work there too. The one in Hedgie from Ape Radio, they'll be on later tonight in about 1 hour. So definitely check them out on Space Call. Spencer, he was here earlier talking about Highcroft. Another good guy. Tony Denaro, we were mentioning him earlier about how he'd be a good fit for being on the board. I'm going to have to reach out to him and find out and see if he actually applied to get on there. I know he was talking about it, but I agree. I think Tony would be a good fit for the board. Casey Shaw and his mom. I'm going to have to talk to Casey Shaw about getting his mom on here so we can interview her so she can let you guys know who she is, that she's going to be trying for a board seat. So I think it's good that we get one of us in there. So we'll make that happen. Another mention was Pantheon. Pantheon's a brilliant guy. I don't usually do a shout out to him too much, but he is a very smart guy. And I'd like to get him to come back on here because I know we were talking about vetting some of the board members and stuff, because we don't know who some of these people are. Kathleen Paulus and Anthony Sage, even Hawk Kosh. It'd be kind of nice to get some good background work done. And I know he was talking about doing that. So Boss Blunts and AMC Bigums, they were both mentioned. Both good guys, do good work. And Super Steven, I guess he's got a video I got to check out. Another good guy. That's pretty much all I got to say is I'm going to make sure I do shout-outs to everybody that's been talked about today or who has been here. Mediocre Trader, it's on to you.
Hey, guys, I just want to thank everybody for coming and watching the show. You know, we do this every day. It's interesting, right? Like we come in and, you know, we do charting. We don't know what's going to happen day to day. It just happens. But we're grateful that you guys come back every single day and check us out, and we appreciate it. I want you guys to know that. So do us a favor. Beat that like button, beat that subscribe button, and hop on over to Froggy's channel. Do the same over there. And with that, have a good night, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. And we'll be trying to make another video tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. If you smell what the frog is cooking.